Welcome to the Late Sesh. What is going on, everybody? Support your local caregiver.
Boycott MCMA affiliates.
Love that.
Cheers,
Welcome to
everybody.
the show.
What's going on?
Oh, nice
Shout out to
shirt.
Bones Grown and who was his wife's name?
You put me at Katie.
Katie. Bones Grown and Katie for sending us these shirts.
While we're starting here, I was telling Sequence in the pre-show, and today is April 18th, and I have known Sequence for 3 years today. That's when I met him at Kushstock. We got together and we said, hey, you know what? We should start this thing and we'll call it like something, man. We'll talk about
We'll make it into a tongue twister because no one will ever watch this shit.
Yeah. I love the Grow Bros.
Happy 3-year anniversary, dude.
Exactly.
Same diff.
What a bunch
Yeah,
of
man.
idiots we were back then. No, I was like, man, I like the cut of your jib. We met on the what was that show called that we were?
What was the name of that show?
Growing with your fellow growers.
Growing with my fellow growers, the chief home grower.
And we talked a lot about growing cannabis and all that sort of stuff. And I knew he's from Michigan. Then we met here in Michigan at an event called Kushstock 3 years ago. And we're like, hey, let's make this inclusive and talk about all the stuff that we do that's similar instead of all the stuff that we do that's different.
Right. You think
Even
all the
back
cool
then,
people
people
we're
were
going to get to
arguing about,
interview
like,
and talk to and
Yeah.
plug into the community. And so here we are.
Organics and
Yeah,
BHO
man.
versus rosin and all the different arguments and stuff. And we wanted to be inclusive of all of that stuff. So now we have a panel. We do a lot of different shows, lots of different grow styles. We talk
Everything
all
from red to Spartan. How's that?
exactly.
Dude, I was sitting on my grow room listening to you guys.
Yeah, man.
I was building my shop out there, fucking wanting to get, set up. Just, where I was listening to as much shit as I could about the Michigan grow scene and stuff like that, because I was working on, trying to get licensed and all that good stuff that I thought the market was going to bring and everything. And I didn't know I was going to get shut out by locality and all this other stuff, So I was ready to play ball, and do the whole thing, man. And I'm glad I found you guys, man, because it's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Look what I get to do all the time with you.
Red, it still blows my mind that you walked up to Skilbo and I at an event and said hi in the first.
Look what I can do.
He walked up, threw a fucking backpack down, or was it a
Threw some hash on the table, right?
It's either the
I brought
case
it.
or
I brought a backpack and I actually had vegetables to share
Cheers,
with you guys
Stoney.
too, but you guys left.
because he had like a
I was
shit
going to
ton
share
of
some
stuff. He
zucchini
just
with you guys.
opened up shop right there on the table.
That's it.
Cheers,
Cool.
K2.
It was
It was
fucking
so out of
perfect.
character for Red, especially back then. He was much
Cheers,
more
Kazoo.
reserved than he is now,
Right.
especially in the public sense.
I
Red
still
has
kinda
come so far, like, to have his own channel and shit. Like, if we'd have told Red 3 years ago, hey, you're going to have this show, it's going to be called Polarity Science, and you're going to
host your
also
own shit.
you're also going to do hours a week on this other channel that's not yours, but trust me, it'll be a good time, man.
Yeah, we run she sits by my side now, thankfully. We run solid 6 hours a week,
Well, I mean,
Just
that guy's
on
got
us.
to be happy to see Painted Lady tonight back in the saddle. The only thing is there is no baked this evening. I don't know where he's at. He must be fast asleep, and I don't know. He must have
She's
got into the lavender sleepy time tea or something.
It was the late
Matlock went
nap.
off.
Did you see his story today? I commented on it because he's fucking funny, and it was about all the different types of naps, and I can relate to just about every one of those naps that he posted about. There's definitely one for.
You had one today, huh?
I sure did. You know where my
I
nap
did.
spot is?
I napped
hammock.
today.
No.
No, not in the wintertime, dude. And we don't have a couch. If I go to bed, it's curtains, man. I'm out. So see Dioge's little spot right down there.
Did
where
you
he's,
curl up in the dog bed?
Oh
He
yeah,
lays in
yep,
the
that dog bed.
Yeah.
GD God.
Hang out with the
bed.
fucking dog bed, dude. It's fucking comfortable, man.
Red,
Lay
you
down
got
with the
so
OGs.
bad, bro.
Oh, dude. Hey, man. When the going gets rough,
Probably
just
smells
lay
like
in the dog
patchouli
bed.
now.
When the going gets rough, say rough, and lay
You
it
just
down.
need a couch.
We're gonna get a couch. Yeah, we're gonna. When she moved in, I had an old couch that he had torn up over. It was like 8 years old, so that fucking thing had to go, dude. That thing was dunzo, old dug up,
Dunzo.
torn into couch. Yeah, bad tweed, man. Tweed's itchy. Holds a lot of dog hair.
Tweed. Holy
Tweed,
shit.
man.
Reminds me of that Minx show we were watching today, and they had a
I
quite
love
a
it.
retro couch on that show.
Does
I
the
love it. I'm
does
on
the
the
tweed
last
couch
episode.
have suede elbows? That's what I want to know. Is
We
it
have
like
one
the
episode to go
Oh yeah,
as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we're on the
Suede
same
elbows.
episode.
We just watched episode 8 tonight, and
Oh well, there's 9 and 10.
Yeah, we watched
Oh.
9. We watched 9 tonight.
Oh, we watched 9?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we watched 9. Yeah, and that show is so funny. Did you like it, Red?
He did not watch it.
I haven't watched it yet. I think I was
Oh.
harvesting, or I was working, doing something. She was doing that. And
If I like have time away, that's when I'll like watch shows. So when I watch my little siblings and stuff, if they're napping or anything, it's when I get to like watch a show.
Right on.
And I love it. They played the Grateful Dead in an episode today I watched.
did they really?
And
Oh,
it's
yeah,
that
awesome.
it's cool. It's
It's a hard show to
Interesting.
explain to people.
yeah.
It's a lot, but it's really funny.
Well,
And it's
I mean,
all good actors. Like they're all so
They're
good.
they're
amazing.
great. The writing is fantastic. Everybody, it's so witty, and everybody, the acting is great. And
What's the name of the show again?
Minx, and it's about
Minx.
the first male nude magazine for women that's disguised. It's a feminist magazine disguised by male nudity.
Porno.
Yeah.
Porno
And-
mag.
The only person that would agree to publish her feminist thoughts was this pornographer publisher, and he's turned it into a gold mine. And she's very conflicted about the fact that it's this feminist magazine, but there's dicks all over.
She's
know,
like hardcore feminist. Like
Yeah.
Like she's a very
intense.
easy character to hate, which means that she's written really well. Like her character's written really well.
But
And,
she's like having these moments where she's
Right.
like realizing the snootiness of those people.
Right.
I'm not gonna get into
You're
it.
not a spoiler, are you?
But I
Spoiler.
really enjoy it. I like
Wasn't
it.
the first episode so funny where, it starts with them showing like a construction scene, and
Yeah.
back in the day, that was kind of a thing that women always got hit on by construction
Getting
workers or
catcalled,
whatever.
right? Walking
Yeah,
down.
catcalled. And then she
Wolf
created
whistle.
a magazine, and then they had one of her big shoots was the reverse situation where the guy was in a construction outfit naked, and there were women on the sideline going, "Show us your dick." It was fantastic. I loved
Yeah,
every second.
That's pretty
of it.
funny.
So, because I still have a boss that, let me tell you, if I was an asshole, I could
You'd be
really
rich.
get him in trouble.
You'd be rich.
And because I don't know what it is, but man, there's for some reason guys still think that they can just say whatever the fuck they want to. Like I had a meeting. You guys know I had a meeting last week. That's why I wasn't on the late sesh. And he calls me the day before and is like, "Hey, I get to see your ass tomorrow, and the rest of you too. Hey, can I still bounce a quarter off it?" I'm not shitting you. This is my fucking boss, the owner of my company.
Is he from like 1956? Is
He's
that where this dude's
53.
coming from?
He's 53 years old.
Okay.
So he's 3 years older than me.
Well, you know what? That's nothing that a good old fashioned punch in the fucking face won't stop.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's
Who's gonna tell on who?
Red's mouth was like,
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, what the
He knows
fuck?
I'm
yeah,
cool.
that's Gen X, dude. No, man, no, he shouldn't be saying that shit.
He shouldn't, but he says it because he knows I'm cool, and my sense of humor is kind of vulgar. I mean, if you couldn't tell. And like, so he gets away with it because I just like, dude, you're fucking gross.
You're no Mother Cabrini.
yeah, it's insane to hear about that shit.
Oh, he used to call me, and when I used to work in the office, he would say, "Hey, Casey, come here. Look at this spot on Kathy's chair. Look at that white spot. What do you think that is?" I'm just like, Tip, for fuck's sake. Oops, I mean, Steve.
I'd rather not know it was on Kathy's chair. I'm gonna assume a bird was flying around.
There you go.
Inside.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna assume it was a bird and not worry about what Kathy was doing.
Anyway, that's
Or what Creepy
really
Steve's
could
doing.
be
That's what
anything.
Kathy's not around. That's what we're worried about.
the show is great. So for anybody that has an open
Goddamn it,
mind,
Steve.
doesn't mind seeing a couple dicks, check out Minx on HBO Max.
They
And
are
check out
great.
our sponsor,
That
Dick's
makes it
Medibles.
better.
It's a great time to segue into that, right?
Yeah. They're all prosthetic dicks on this show, which I don't know if that's good or bad.
Are they?
But there's lots of real titties. Yeah, we watched the behind
You
the
leave
scenes.
my
They got
moves out of this, my
hundreds of
friend.
prosthetic dicks for this show. All different sizes and shapes, and it's very funny.
Was this a United
don't
fucking
see
Colors of
very
Benetton
big
ad or some shit?
I'm not sure what we can and can't to say about
All
this
right, but
topic
what about that
anymore,
huge
so.
one? That was crazy.
There's some huge ones in there.
There was some huge ones.
Like-
Yeah.
Like
Becca,
not
are you
real.
blushing?
Could not be real.
Exactly.
Like not okay.
Red, where are you going and what's going on over there?
I don't know. I don't think this is YouTubeable.
I think Red's trying to measure.
So fake, like that, like huge, guys, like so fake.
Pulled,
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
I pulled my hip. my hip. My
it'd be
hip
like
popped.
world record stuff.
Popped it back in.
That's a funny one, Kazoo.
You can click on it. That's fine.
I was gonna mark it.
I was disappointed they were fake, Kazoo. You know, when I'm clicking on videos late at night, I'm only clicking on the ones with the big ones. I don't want to see the little ones.
He doesn't want to see the fake ones, only the real ones.
That's right.
Only the real ones. Okay.
That's a famous comedian had that joke one time. I can't remember who it was, but he's like, when you're watching those videos, are you looking for the ones with the little wieners, or are you looking for the ones with the bigger ones? Made me laugh so hard. I can't remember what comedian that was.
Anyway, the show's great, and I'm glad you like it, Becca. It's got so many laughs. I mean, we laugh, I don't know, every couple seconds in that show. Everybody is funny. Every
Yeah.
character on there is so unique and funny, and the writing is great.
Oh yeah, thanks for the suggestion.
And
You know,
it
that's the
inspired me
secret,
to
man.
buy
Is
some
find
fake
something
dicks.
that you can watch that you find fucking humorous, man. Even shows like this and shit. You know, we're just on here smoking, talking some shit, maybe answer some questions. But for the most
Another-
part, it's just to laugh and have fun.
Yeah. And I love that and this show and other comedy as well. But another show that she showed me was True Detective. I hadn't watched yet. So we watched the whole first season of True Detective, and that was incredible. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Matthew McConaughey and
Pretty good.
damn it, why can't I remember his name?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, Kingpin, Rampart, some other.
My problem
movies.
with Matthew
Woody Harrelson's
McConaughey
great.
is he's trying to sling fucking whiskey, so he's doing these fucking commercials and talking about roasted barrels, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here with your Hollywood ass. You don't know shit about shit, man.
Bro, you gotta watch that show, dude.
If it was 10 years ago, I would say how cool it was that Woody Harrelson is a cannabis advocate, but that's like every celebrity now, so it's not really a big thing.
That's we're
But he was before too, so that
Yeah.
was
I
cool.
love
maybe
it.
if we go back to
He's
the
he's
white
a
men can't
OG
jump era, then it
cannabis
would be
advocate.
yeah.
It's kind of disturbing.
That show?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Super good.
very disturbing.
Sorry.
I watched it forever
I
ago.
thought the first one was better than the other three, though. So it's like
Yeah.
they
I didn't
peaked on
see the
first
other
one.
ones. I
Yeah.
only saw the first season. I heard the other ones were terrible, so I didn't watch
They
it.
weren't terrible.
I thought you were telling me there were
They're
three
just way
movies that white
different.
men can't jump.
Okay.
Completely different. You know, it's a season that's like completely different people, completely different. So
Right. It's
they
hard to
crushed it
figure
the
out
first
the
season. It was hard to live up to that. And
Yeah,
that's kind of the
exactly. It
situation.
was so good. They won a bunch of awards and all that stuff, and then it's hard to follow that up. Another
first
series
one's
that was
good.
like that was like Heroes. When Heroes first came out, then they had a big writer strike, and then the show got super bad. So then
Isn't
it
that
was
the one
like,
that was like the
Gross.
superhero thing? It was
Yeah.
like
yeah,
15, 20 years ago.
yeah. It seems like it was forever ago.
Fuck
It
yeah,
was
man.
because I was married to the first one.
It was pretty good.
The David Bowie song.
The first couple of seasons
We
of
could
that
be
show were
heroes.
incredible. Then they had a writer strike, and they just fell off hard.
Is that what
Just for
happened?
one day.
I
Yeah.
never knew that.
All of Hollywood had a writer strike, and they just kept doing the show, and it destroyed the show.
Mm.
But anyhow,
You know what? I miss old fashioned TV since I'm going to be the boomer since Bake's not here. Let me do this for a minute. I miss the old days when you used to have like 50 fucking
Talking
episodes
horses
of
and
something for a season. Now you get like these
10.
truncated, weird seasons of 10 episodes here. It's
8.
going to be off for 5
Yeah,
months.
man.
Then it's going to come back in a new night and time. And OPS, I hope it wasn't Netflix because fuck you. We're not putting it on for another season. I know it was great. I know everybody loved it, but we're not
Yeah.
coming back because fuck you.
I hate that they'll do multiple seasons in 1 year. Like to me,
That's
a
really
season of
weird,
a
yeah.
show is like a year.
They're calling the
Mhm.
truncated season.
You know, and then like
Like,
so you'll have a show that has 4 seasons per year, and you're like, what in the fuck?
Hey,
Ozark.
get it? 4
Speaking
seasons?
of which, Ozark is coming back pretty soon.
Oh my gosh,
I
man.
know. The
Welcome to the
last
Michigan
episode,
Bros
holy
television
moly.
review show
I'm
this
so-
evening.
I'm sitting here and I'm just like, where am I?
Just waiting
I don't
for
even
the
know.
show.
watch TV,
Sorry,
man.
guys. Sorry. You watch good TV. I like that.
I haven't
I was
watched
with you,
TV
Spartan. I
Thank
was
you.
just trying to make little
years, I
caustic
should
comments
say.
because I don't watch TV either.
I don't
so
really
I don't
watch
fucking
TV
know.
either, but she's giving me like the highlight shows, so I only watch the good stuff, which
Peaky
helps.
Blinders.
Oh
Peaky
man.
No, I'm still, I don't know. I don't know. I think
Becca
that's
is
still
just going
up
in.
for debate too.
Cillian
Man. I don't
Murphy
know
is
about
like
this.
my
Some of the ones you're
all-time
describing,
celebrity
I
crush.
I'm fighting for him.
Well,
What?
You can have him.
Okay.
No, you're so.
I'm sure he would love me.
Oh.
Aw.
But
It's a
yeah,
celebrity.
he doesn't watch
Sure.
TV, and so now that I mean, it's not like we watch a ton of it, but it's a
We
lot of
don't
cooking
either.
shows. I love to watch educational cooking shows.
I used to watch a lot. Like I would watch every show that was good, always. But now I barely watch anything. So
I like
that's all.
Aldridge's comment.
How much of the
Yeah,
Kardashians have you
it's my
watched?
hair.
None.
More than none. Sounds
More than I would like to say, but not really.
good, good.
I don't know. I spent so many years over the past 6 years, you guys, watching weed shows and weed podcasts and weed everything that
Yes.
now I'm kind of
You're gonna
like,
break it up a little bit.
yeah, like I need a little entertainment, I guess, along with my education.
Are you not entertained?
Oh,
Can I get the
I
quote?
mean,
Oh.
you know, but like all the time. Like I used to go from, you know, Medical Mondays to you guys, to Ross and Jeff's podcast, to Dude Grows. It was all my night because I just wanted to soak it all up and learn everything I could about growing. And now I'm just kind of like, okay, I need some.
I'd wake up and she's watching Can of Cribs and then other shows and like everything.
When I was building my grow, that was it. And it was
Here's
like
George
before you guys were even around, before we were around, right? Before this was around.
ProTube.
You know, so it was that was it, so it was like
baby.
more like during those eras, like after everybody had been shut down, which was sucked because there was only
the
a few
purge, man.
Yeah, but you know who was around was like Shangolos had his Shaping Fire podcast, and Tad Hussey had his stuff still, and there was a lot. And like I had already gone to like the Regen conference and done a couple things through that. A couple years into it, and I think I met you guys like right after I went to that Regen conference. I started listening to you guys right after that one because that was in like 2019, I think. I was really into it by then because then I was listening to like Joe Green and all those guys talk, and I could listen to that dude talk for hours about the 80s and shit like that just because he is a good storytelling voice. Yeah, man. A lot of good information out there from even between the purge.
Yeah.
I used to watch the shit out of the History Channel back when it had history stuff on there.
When it wasn't aliens and crazy shit.
When I was a kid, though, you know what I mean? Like that was a long time ago when they used to actually have programming that was worth a shit.
Which fucking channel was it that had the mermaid bullshit in 2014? That was like a reputable channel. It was doing the fucking "we found a mermaid" shit. Was it
Probably
Discovery or some
Discovery
bullshit?
does all that. Yeah, probably
crazy.
Discovery or something.
Like, what kind of nonsense is this, man?
The History Channel turned into like, how was everything made by aliens and like
aliens and Hitler? You know, like
pawn
what the fuck?
shops and
Podcast. I
Pawn shops.
I don't think it's like a video podcast. It's just a podcast, but it's called Hardcore History. You'd really enjoy it.
I do like Hardcore History. That's a cool one.
Mr. D20 says Tad Hussey's podcast with Koo started me in the right direction. Man, I had to listen to that one
That's
a
a
couple of
multi-part.
fucking times. Yeah, man. Because I would get to the point where he was talking about, you know, the only peat moss comes from Canada, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm trying to learn. And then he starts talking about the barley and
might
shit.
want to check the connection settings in the Google
Sorry.
Home app.
Check your connections.
Check your connections.
Check your connections.
Wow.
You have a
Oh,
strange
man.
man in your house.
Who is that?
I
Show
think
us
there
his
was a
face.
woman. I think there was a woman.
Ooh.
voice. Alexa.
Large Marge sent you.
Tell him Large Marge sent you. Who knows what that's from? Come on, chat. Somebody get that.
Large
Don't say it,
Marge
Red.
sent you. I won't say it.
Is it-
It was a dark and
I was
stormy
just
night.
thinking about that today, though.
There's a
You gotta
transmission.
have the
from
eyes go all
Motor.
big.
She's got a little dog that looks like her. She be
Yeah.
talking like Large Marge.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
But I said that she'd be like Marge, but I didn't say Large Marge or what that said. But I also said Marge's sisters in reference to the Simpsons sisters who smoke
Patty
like
and Selma.
tons of
Yeah.
fucking.
Mm.
Mr. Manny D says Pee Wee, and
Thank
Pee Wee
you.
it is
Pee-wee's Big
Big
Adventure.
Adventure, where he's looking for his bike. You stole my bike.
I never liked Pee Wee. Not when I was a kid. Not now.
All
Never.
of my
I did.
anxiety.
Scary fucking show
Hey.
Pee Wee's show was. It
I
creeped
loved
me
it.
I
out, dude.
still say
I-
Mecca
I
like a
always felt
high,
like-
Mecca honey ho.
Tiny ho.
I
felt
had
like
a
a lot of
Astro.
the-
Johnny ho.
A lot of
Remember-
the kid shows were condescending to me. It was like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. I hated that. I felt that way watching that show.
Spartan had his valise right next to him on the chair while he was watching cartoons because he was so fancy.
No, I was out
Hey,
He
fucking.
was been patronized and talked down to.
No, it's
Dude,
like, yeah, it's like, fucking, I'm a human over here. What are you talking to me like that?
That shit was on like Netflix or something not that long ago. I mean, like a few years ago. Okay, maybe let's say like 2015, 2016 or something, right? I might have celebrated, done a little bit of what the celebration of Bicycle Day may entail here in like another
It's
40
tomorrow.
minutes. That is
Yeah,
tomorrow. It's at midnight. We will be celebrating Bicycle Day. Woot woot.
Oh, we will.
Midnight. Yeah, sure.
We're gonna celebrate that.
Celebration, good
Right on.
times. So
Good times, party.
and I'm sitting there, man. I'm
Mother's
flipping through, and I hit the Pee Wee's fucking not even a movie, just the Pee Wee's Funhouse or whatever the fuck it is. And I'm
I thought you
watching
were
that
gonna-
shit, and I'm like, holy shit, this is
Red, do you
Make
own
my
the
heart
white
race.
shoes and can
Yeah,
you dance the
it was like
tequila
two-
fucking on the bar?
Some of the creepiest shit I've ever seen was Pee
Uh,
Wee's show, dude.
I
Yeah,
loved
it's
it.
too much.
And I
Lawrence
realized
Fishburne was on
I
it.
realized at that moment
His wife
that
likes bitches
I
on
watched
there.
way too much Pee Wee as a child. That may have in some way stemmed some latent
Imprinted on
anxiety
you.
or something as an adult, and I did the same where I switched to SpongeBob and all the and I was like, oh, I can't do this, man. I was like, oh, some cartoons sound fun. No, Planet Earth it is, dude. Just watch the fucking whales.
I love Planet Earth.
Whales.
Blue
I do
Planet.
Is that how you learned about
Blue Planet
voles?
is
Hold up
fire,
the
yeah.
sign,
Blue
Red.
Planet's so good, dude.
The live
Especially
chat
I
on,
love
voles.
on a real height, a real big HD TV, and you get that in there. It's
Mhm.
fucking.
I like when David
Then you watch
Attenborough.
Falcon.
Get high as fuck
I
and
love
watch
David Attenborough.
fish
The
swimming around
narrator.
while you're stoned. Oh, it's the best.
Over
His
here.
voice
Good.
We have
could listen
large
to
shelled turtle.
Sometimes I like to watch that to go to bed because it's just relaxing.
Came
and
to the
cool,
Galapagos.
cute.
It reminds me, I just read a
Galapagos.
couple articles about with the receding ice. There's people claiming with Google Map images of these gigantic fucking pyramids coming out of the ice in Antarctica. Have you guys heard about that yet?
Yeah, they're like 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers
Yeah,
square.
They would dwarf the Great Pyramid.
What the
by-
fuck was that? You must have seen the exact same thing I saw because it's
Maybe.
You guys using Yahoo News again?
Did you
Yeah,
see
nah,
the huge
man.
ice shelf
It
collapse?
was the word. The
We're
word
using,
was
we're
dwarf.
using global consciousness, bro.
Sequence,
Global
yeah.
consciousness.
Did you see
Telling
that
you, man.
Google Earth? Hold on. Google Earth announced that you can do a time lapse of the last 40 years in your neighborhood and see how it changed.
Oh, really?
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Google
Yeah.
wasn't around 40 years ago. How do they have pictures of
I'm
my
sure
home?
they got satellite images from all sorts
Hmm.
of
Satellite
all sorts
imaging.
of years.
Dude,
One
you want to
more
know some
fun
old
fact.
boomer shit? There used to be a dude like if you're in the 70s, this guy would like fly over top of all these neighborhoods and they would come around and he would have like a folder of all these different houses and shit. And he would show you and he'd be like, hey, do you want to buy an overhead picture of your house? This is like pre-drones and all that shit. And people would do that, but it was like super expensive.
I
man.
remember
You
that,
used to have
dude.
to buy it
There's
from
an
like
airplane over
crocodile
it.
planes. You
Yeah.
could buy pictures from like your farm or whatever.
I actually have a picture of the house that I'm living in right now. That's an overhead shot from 1991. It's kind of cool. So get on the mantle and shit.
If you look hard enough and you see little orange wind socks, some other markers identify private runways. They're
Yeah.
fucking everywhere, dude. People have airplanes.
Really?
Grass.
I grew up right next to one, and they take you up in gliders and just let you glide out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah.
Those crop
love
duster
Jackson,
pilots
right?
are some of the scariest, crazy, most amazing pilots you'll ever see too. They're doing some insane shit.
Oh, those
Dodging
guys
power
are so-
lines and flying
Yeah.
super close to trees. Watch them for a few minutes. It's
spraying
insane.
poison.
Spraying
Damn.
poison everywhere.
Spraying poison. Yeah.
Did you remember in the very beginning of these shows we were talking about they were going to come around to do the spraying and we were telling people make sure that you seal off your fucking grow room so
Yeah.
you're not pulling air in during that time and shit.
Yeah.
It's part of our
They're spraying
PSAs
stuff
that we
that's
did.
against the regulations for cannabis.
Yeah.
You can't have it on your
Yeah.
plants, but they can spray it in the air.
Right.
One more late night kind of tie-in with the Google stuff is, I think is recent. It might have been before that, but I heard about it 2 days ago. they unblocked all of the fucking
Russia.
blocked out images of Russia.
Fuck you.
So you can see all their fucking facility, all their military facilities and all that shit, I guess, is all unblocked right now.
Awesome.
Goodness.
Yeah.
My
Could
favorite
you
plane
imagine if
ever.
they did that in the US and fucking zoom in on like Area 51 and
Yeah,
shits
dude.
like that they got all blocked off? That would be pretty dope.
You might be able to see the family reunion picnic if they have that time lapse over the last 40 years. I'm sure we'd capture one of those. They'd be out there playing like tetherball and shit.
I haven't time lapsed my neighborhood yet, but they did announce that, so I'm gonna have to try it. I love Google Earth. It's so fun to fuck around.
So just go to Google Earth and you can do it from there.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Fun fact: my favorite airplane ever, the SR-71 Blackbird, the only
Blackbird.
plane to never be shot down in combat, was
Because
the one we used for reconnaissance over Russia all through
Yeah.
World War II, the Cold War. Well, through the Cold War.
Wait a minute. I thought the Blackbird was from like 1950 something. I
No,
don't
it's
think we
the
had that in World
70s
War II.
airplane.
70s.
The 70s?
Yeah.
70s.
So it's a Cold War spy
So
plane.
fucking cool, that plane.
The
I had
U-2
a
spy
Hot
plane came
Wheels
first.
version.
U2, that's the first
Yeah,
one.
the U-2 did actually get shot down and captured. The SR-71 was too fast. So,
Yeah, but the Blackbird also is like super fucking high up too.
yeah.
And I think the stealth bomber has been decommissioned as well.
What?
They want you to think so.
Do
No,
they?
it probably has, but who knows, right?
Well,
I'm
I
so
mean,
old.
dude,
I still think
there's-
of that as the new planes.
I'm a
when I
plane
was
nerd,
in
Major General. Sorry, dude.
when I was in tech school, they taught us that there are definitely still airplanes from the 70s still in commission.
Oh, for sure.
There's C-130s that
No,
are.
the
And-
B-2 bomber, dude. It'll never be.
Yeah, there's
taken out.
B2s.
just commercial airliners, just commercial
My
airliners.
favorite bomber.
This is
B-2's
what
gonna be
people
around
fly.
forever.
People
My
fly.
favorite bomber.
What the
B-52s.
general public
They're
fly.
so huge.
They're still around.
The B-2 is made in the 50s, and they keep fixing them and repurposing them and stuff. They'll never replace the B-2, I don't think.
I'm not sure if airplanes still have the little ashtrays in the armrest.
I don't think they do anymore. Right?
But those
remember
airplanes,
that shit,
those
though.
airplanes are certainly from like
Yeah.
the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah,
Maybe
for
not
sure.
the 50s, but they're from like the 60s and the 70s.
Hey man,
Like,
when I was
oh,
in Germany,
yeah.
I used to pay extra and get that fucking spot. I'm telling you, you get that on the flight. It was extra to get the smoking seat.
Dude, I remember
Back.
some of the Amtrak trains still had that fucking
Oof.
the ashtrays in the fucking.
Well, that's a dirty motherfucker too. It wasn't all
Yeah, the
clean
old
and
train
shit.
too,
like,
yeah.
ooh.
No.
The
Oh,
Blackbird
man.
is like the most American plane ever. It's like the big dick airplane of the sky. So when
Yeah.
they would get shot at by missiles, they would just go faster and outrun the missile.
faster than the missile. Yeah.
That's so American to me. I've read multiple books about that airplane. It's the best.
It's like, let's just build a plane to go fast, and then we'll
Yeah.
figure everything else out.
It goes so fast that nothing can catch it.
You know what
Go
one of
like
my favorite
Mach
planes
9 or
is?
some
Is
shit,
the
Mach
fucking the 810, man, the Warthogs.
Warthog's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, for me, when I was stationed
Is
in
that the
Germany, dude,
vertical?
I lived
Is that the vertical?
like
Oh,
the
no,
base
that's
that I
the
was on was an Air Force base, right? And I was in the Army, and so we're on Air Force base. So we're like the Air Force's bitch because it's their base. So we lived in the swamps and shit. And of course, I worked in the motor pool. So where's the motor pool? It's right at the fucking end of the runway, of course.
Oh,
So
shit.
all day long, I get to listen to the 36 Tactical Fighter Wing do nothing but fuck around and fly all fucking day,
Scramble and do
man.
random shit.
Yeah, bro, it was
Yeah.
shitty, man.
That's not
So
great.
like we were talking about ear protection and shit last night, and I used to have to wear like the big Mickey Mouse ears just to be in the fucking motor pool because they're flying over y'all again, man. It's crazy. Cessna was the workhorse of the 80s drug trade. Yeah. And also all of the TV shows, like anytime somebody had a plane in a TV show like Magnum PI or something, it's always a Cessna.
Right. Well, it's the cheapest plane. Like you're gonna rent one or buy one for an
If
air.
you're gonna fuck one up, you might as well take a cheap one.
Was that the plane that was in Fantasy Island when he's like, the plane, the plane?
What is
I
that
don't
little
remember
dude's
that.
name?
Tattoo.
It was tattoo. Yeah, it was
Tattoo.
tattoo.
The plane.
I almost said Kazoo.
Reg, you could do that for Halloween.
Well, my torso.
Get your little white suit.
My legs are short enough. My torso's, a little too long. I could try.
My
Certainly-
favorite Blackbird
certainly could get
fact
down
is
there.
another really bureaucratic American fact. We had to have an American flag painted on the plane. The government decided that was super important, so they spent multiple tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure out some sort of paint that would survive the temperature on the airplane. So we have a pink American flag on the Blackbirds because they couldn't find a red paint that would survive So because we had to have an American flag so damn bad, now we have a pink one on the side of the plane.
Interesting.
Did you guys know why these? I'm going to go back to the stealth bomber because I'm a fan of that one as a 90s child. Do you know why the stealth bomber is shaped the way that it is?
So it's stealthy.
Yeah, well, the hard edges.
No, it's because it's supposed to be the peregrine falcon is the shape that it is. The diving falcon is the shape that the stealth is.
I can dig that. The hard edges, the hard corners are they reflect the
radar.
The radar.
And they make them look like a fucking fly. Like it makes the size of like a fly or something
They
ridiculous.
would take a model of the planes and set it on a stick out in the middle of a field and see how big it would show on radar.
They could also
adjust it to be smaller and smaller.
The average radar also detects above a certain altitude, and so they're designed to fly below that altitude as well. Yeah. At top speed, top fucking speed. It's like Mach fucking 3 or whatever the fuck they fly.
Kazoo tells us that he can't play tattoo, and it's only because, not because of the beard, it's only because his torso is too long.
Sacred Garden, we're flying at like 14 or 15,000 miles an hour. That's how fast the Earth is.
What's the speed of sound? What is it?
761.
761. Okay.
And I just looked up the land speed record, 763. So we have broken that. I didn't look up the airspeed record though.
Like one of those like rocket fueled fucking drag race cars or something in the salt flats.
Yeah, turbine car. Yeah,
turbine baby.
Dude, they're about as close to a perpetual motion machine, besides the fact that they need fuel, as you can really get. I mean, once they get up and running, dude, they keep themselves fucking.
How do you feel about the gliders that have flown around for like 60, 70 days at once?
Blows my mind.
I mean, you get
just
them up
blows
there,
my mind.
That is the same fucking thing. Dude.
I know it's not.
Cool.
They're not.
Well, they've had one that's been up there perpetually because it's on solar power or some shit.
Yeah, and they're using thermal to get up in the air. Yep. They're not like perpetual motion or nothing, but that's damn close.
It's damn close, dude. It's damn close. It almost propels itself. I mean, you could say without the sun it won't work, but hey, it's still gonna.
It'll be cool to see when they can get the advance enough with electric to have an electric powered aircraft.
Painted Lady was watching, dude. 60 Minutes. They had an electric vehicle that was self-driving, vertical takeoff and landing. So like you could order it like a taxi and just fly around. Dude, yeah, that's coming.
The true Jetsons then.
2024 driverless Jetsons fucking cars.
That's like fucking less than 2 years from now.
That was on 60 Minutes like yesterday.
Last night. Yeah, Anderson Cooper was flying one. There's ones that actually have drivers and ones that don't.
But they're electric. They're electric vertical
takeoff. How does Anderson Cooper get to fly these things? What the fuck is his qualification?
the reporter, man.
The coolest dude on the planet. That's what his qualification.
That's part of the deal, right? Is that if somebody with no training can fly it, then that makes it
okay. Yeah.
Well, actually, that's untrue because the other company that there's like Joby, and they actually have the pilots. And then there's another company, I don't remember the name of it, but they are the pilotless ones because they said it's actually more human error when planes crash and everything than anything else. So they're eliminating.
Yeah, there's more guys, there's more humans flying planes. What else is flying planes?
Well, right now, to remember is that there's also a ceiling, and so like for you to hit a plane, think about this. It's not like on the road where everybody's on the same fucking quadrant and the same like thing.
Yeah,
planes are at all different heights and shit. Yeah. So for you to like crash into each other is like substantial.
Most of your airplane flying is done by a computer these days anyway.
The autopilot for
the pilots only take off and land planes and almost don't do that anymore.
It's called avionics. It's incredibly fucking technical.
If you're on some Boeing plane, it's autopilot just about the whole time. So when they crash, it's usually a pilot
that's going to be difficult.
Autopilot and figuring out a way to crash it.
That's going to be weird for me to just give up control to just have a machine fly me around, but it's going to be awesome.
Well, the same as a car, right? It would be weird to sit in a car and have it drive.
Yeah,
it's very much like
I have no desire to have my car drive me around, like sit behind the wheel and do nothing. I have no desire for that.
No, I enjoy
that's
driving.
My favorite part about driving is fucking
the driving part, not the riding part. It's the driving part.
Yeah, man, going fast.
She drives like a race car driver too. It is very. It's not scary. She goes, "Sorry if I scared you." It's not scary. It's very entertaining. It's
Have you ever seen his knuckles like tighten or his fingernails dig in a little bit?
No.
Okay.
I just do my thing and then I apologize afterwards and he's like, nope, you're all good. Whereas my other friends will be like, Jesus Christ.
I fucking hate that, dude. Like,
Bro,
He
stop,
does not
man.
like me
jump her
drive.
plane, or she'll jump her car over jumps. She'll fucking
Jump.
Just
Good
one
speed bumps.
time, once.
You mean launch pads?
She's like,
I'm
I
okay
don't know
with it.
how my alignment was so far off. It's like, remember that time you
Because you
jumped your
jumped
car?
it like fucking Bo Duke.
That's how you're supposed to drive that car, man.
You have
That's
the
what it's
horn.
for. Hell yeah. If I had one, oh man, skill. Well, that gives me an idea.
Hit the yeehaw.
She's got an air horn. She needs one.
My red car going down the drive.
Yeah, there you
going down
go.
the
Just
street
don't
with one of
snap
those.
that fucking thing in half like many of the original General Lees.
Get in, Cletus. I go blasting through the window.
I'd rather have Boss Hogg's car in that fucking show.
Oh, that
Give
white
me-
Cadillac with
yeah,
the big
give me
horns
that
on the front, the
motherfucker.
steer.
Fuck
Yeah, man.
Pimpmobile. Give me that.
Cheers, Carrie.
Cheers, Caribou Heart.
Caribou Heart. Hell
Here's
yeah.
Caribou.
man.
Jakes.
Let's go.
Jakes.
Oh, okay. All right. So who's the soda? We owe Becca a soda.
Hey,
I
you guys
guess.
see that it is coming down the wax? I talked about this yesterday.
Yep.
Hitting
Well,
it too hard.
the vapor is going to pull it down too. So are you actually pulling the fluid out of the banger, or is it just the vapor that's condensing?
Building up.
Oh,
It
geez.
will build up.
Vapor. Yeah.
It's probably just the vapor doing it.
You guys are just hitting it hard over there.
You can
and fucking
reclaim that.
Seasoning
You can
that
reclaim
well.
that when you clean it and then put it in a capsule. I'm gonna put
You
a
can
sleep.
reclaim that if you use ethanol instead of ISO.
And then just let it evaporate.
Yeah, I could use it as a tincture.
Interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
have
more expensive because you got to have Everclear or something sitting around. But so I've never reclaimed it, but you can reclaim it. They actually make, if you look up the silicone reclaimer on Instagram, they make basically it's an ash catcher for a dab rig. So it reclaims your resin in a little
right into a jar.
silicone thing, and then you can put it in capsules and eat it, which is a pretty great idea.
It is, but I don't like that it's silicone.
I mean, it's hard to find anything else that you can attach to a glass deal.
Yeah.
So he puts a lip on the glass and then pops the little silicone thing on the bottom.
That's really cool.
It's Jeff Glassart on Instagram. He makes those things. But yeah, I believe it's probably just the vapor condensing in that for you, Becca. Now that you're that far down with that banger you've got.
Well, Sequence had his drug test today for his job, so now we can eventually
wait.
smoke again.
They sent that shit to a lab, guys. So I still don't know if I passed. Spartan, you're muted.
Or did they say weeks or how long?
3 to 5 days, and then I'll
Not
know.
terrible. So
Not
weak.
terrible. He goes, here's your sample. Now watch me close it. This is a
Yeah.
factory sealed container. All right, now initial this. Now watch me put it in the bag. Now initial this bag.
Yeah.
It was like
Jesus.
Wow.
real
I've never had
official
to
shit.
do all that before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Used to have the ones in the army where they would have you sign a seal, and then they would make you peel the seal off, and you would have to stick it over
Right.
top of it, and then you would have to put it in the toolbox. so
Just
that they
like
would
that,
fucking-
dude.
Yeah, they
Wow.
were funny
It's
about it.
like they're the place that does like DOT drug tests. They have
Oh,
nail tests there. Yeah, I didn't do that, but they have a test where they'll clip your nails to test.
Did they
for
rip your
drugs.
nails out of the bed of your hand and say,
Probably.
"We'll give us an offering if you want this position"? We're seeing
You
how
could be like
serious
me.
you are.
Because I was a smartass and went in and shaved my head, and then there was a hair sample test, and I didn't have a beard, so I was clean shaven head. So, but they ended up taking my arm hair, which I
Took
didn't
some
think
back
of
hair
on
off
there.
you.
They did not watch me. They didn't pat me down, but they did just about everything else.
And I will
They
say
frisked
we
me.
took an at-home test, and I tested positive this weekend still, and I classify myself as a light daily smoker.
Well, this is kind of a good science thing because both of you can claim to have very little body fat. So if anyone was going to be able
For
to
sure.
eradicate cannabis from their system quickly, if you're a regular user, you would think that someone who weighs less would be able to do it quicker than someone who weighs more and has more body fat.
I've got to have almost no body fat after leaving cannabis and like not being able to eat for a week or more. Like, and I still,
And it's
after my
been
test, before my test, I was taking a drink, and if it works, I'm going to tell you guys what it was. If it doesn't work, I'm not, because they don't need the
oh, that you're
promotion.
going to run them face first in the dirt if it didn't
But
work. If ever
it
there was a
worked.
time to
Like,
do
when I
so,
was
that might
taking
be
the
the
drink,
one.
when I was taking the drink, I was passing all of the tests. We bought tests that had the same threshold limit as the tests that I had to take. which was 50 nanograms. And then, so I took a bunch of them and I passed them all right up until I took my test. And then I got back here and I took a nap and woke up and did another one after like an hour-long nap, failed that one. So like
that
the
makes sense
drink
because every
made
time
me
you
mad.
sleep, it like concentrates out. At least that's your
Right.
pain.
No,
Building up
yeah,
in the
that's a
filter.
natural response. Yeah, in 50 nanograms, that's a good topic, man. Is this drug testing thing? And it's not like it's not easy. I'm not saying like go and cheat drug tests. You know, if you need to do it, you got to do it. You know what I mean? But like, there's slight science about how this stuff has like a half-life and how long it's in you. Most drugs are only in you for like 3 days, but a lot of it
Right.
has to do with how much
What's
you
your
actually.
saturation level?
That's
Yeah,
the thing is
well,
like
how
I
much do you
smoked
actually
so
pee?
much. Yeah.
And there's a lot of variables. You know what I mean?
With how much I dab and everything, I
Yep.
wonder how long it will last. I've had people message me after these shows and be like,
6 months.
my friend failed after 70 days and stuff like that. And be like, damn, dude.
It's crazy.
I read on the internet you can fail after 90 days if you're a heavy smoker. I would
Fuck, dude.
definitely classify me as a heavy
There's a
smoker.
lot of variables, man. Yeah, let's say you use you twice. Okay, you're using you. Okay, you are the only sample. You have you that drinks a lot of water and pees a lot, and you that doesn't drink a lot of water and eats a lot of junk food and doesn't pee a lot. Okay,
Sure.
the one that pees a lot over let's say the time period's the same. We have a 30-day time period. By the end of that, the one that drinks the water is probably more likely. You still may not pass the sample test, but is more likely to pass than the one that doesn't drink a lot of water, because every time you pee a little bit of the substance out.
You know what would be cool, Red, is
Every
to
time
have
you
multiple
shit a
tests.
little bit of it out. Say
To
that
have
again.
like the 50 nanogram, 100, 150 to kind of see where on the scale I'm at. That'd be
Yeah, that is a good test. Yeah. How much were those tests? How much were they?
The ones that I bought, the little strip tests, kind of like pH tester things, are was $11. I think
For one? For a single
No,
test?
they're 15 little test strips.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Okay.
I bought 2 at like Rite Aid or Walgreens.
You could
for
do a little bit of science with
$26.
that.
So like
That's
those
interesting.
were super expensive comparatively.
But I'm not a dabber. I haven't dabbed in, I don't know, a long time, and I consider myself a lightweight. Like it only takes me 1 or 2 bong hits and I'm good to go. And I really only drink water and coffee for the most part. I have an occasional soda.
Coffee
every now and then.
diuretic, yeah, that'll make you pee a lot. Yeah.
This right here is good advice. I did make sure I did a midstream
Yes.
collection because this is true.
old
You wanna
army
make
trick.
sure you don't want to like get the early or the end part. Like if you're pushing to finish up, you're going to get a little bit more out of there, and that sort of deal. So
Yep. That's where the concentration lies. Think about
Yep.
pumping from a well or something like that. You know what I mean? Same kind of deal.
Primed and ready.
Where's your
Well, there's
stamina?
also an
You should
option.
see it.
Or you take my option and say, fuck those guys, and just laugh because you're costing them money to fucking invade your privacy. Fuck
For
'em.
sure.
I said this the other night, and I'll
I
say
was
it again
expecting
because
him
we
to
have
rub
different
my
people.
shoulders while I had to do it, but he wasn't.
Take out to dinner afterwards, at
Oh,
least.
at least
You
a dinner.
You have to remember too,
Lunch.
guys, that even if you are forced to take a urinalysis testing for a position, don't just fucking throw your hands up in despair and turn around and walk out the door like, fuck it, this job isn't for me. They may in fact be testing for more than just cannabis. Cannabis may be okay with them. They just can't say it. It's a
That's what I'm
5-panel
curious about,
test
too.
because
Yeah.
they don't make a 4-panel test. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the way that it is.
I was
So-
joking in our chat. I was like, "Oh, they're gonna say that I don't do PCP, so I'm gonna get
Right.
the job."
Woohoo!
But like,
One of us.
who knows?
Or maybe they'll fucking not give you a job because you don't. Oh,
Right.
fuck you. You're
Yeah,
a fucking
exactly. This
Do
guy
you-
needs to be doing
Sequence,
PCP.
do you
to
use
get the job.
that Sherman Helmsley?
You
I
thought you
did
were
think
cool,
about doing
man.
the
You're
oil
not
change.
cool.
So if you've watched the show Blue Mountain State, which I tried to get Painted Lady into, she wasn't into Blue Mountain State, but in Blue Mountain State, they do oil changes to get around the drug test. And what that is, where you take clean pee and put it in your bladder through a catheter.
Oh my god.
Use
Fuck
that
off.
as your drug
No.
test.
Fuck off.
No. There'll be no fucking gratuitous fucking cathetering.
No, there's nothing worth
There's
doing
no
that.
job worth that.
There's nothing worth doing that for.
Imagine
Because-
my poor cat last year when he had to get catheterized 3 times, and then they took his
Oh.
penis and turned it into a vagina.
Dude, what are you guys
Turn it
talking
inside
about?
out.
This
None
is
of that
fucked up, man.
None of that's pleasant either. None of it.
Fuck, man.
I had a dream. I had a fucked up dream last night, dude. And I was talking to a nurse, and they were talking about
You had a dream that you were talking to a nurse, and it was a fucked up story.
Did you have her finger in your butt?
story similar to this topic, man. So
Or he, men
super
can be
fucked
nurses
up,
too?
dude. No, man, this is way too weird.
No,
Stop
man.
it. Stop. New story.
This is a serious topic.
Back off. I don't like my dreams. Stop.
Stop.
Well, anyway,
Quiet,
fingers
quick.
crossed that the test comes back.
Woo.
A-okay.
I'm hoping that if I do fail, they don't care about THC because it's legal here. We'll see, but
And he does have a med card, so, you know,
Right.
I don't know.
The guy really liked me in the interview. He's going to ignore the drug test, so we're good.
I think so.
Who knows? Maybe this time next year you'll be fucking sounding a bag.
It's fucking ridiculous because you don't even need them. Like, you know what I mean?
Dude, I know the other guys that do this job that I applied for.
I found a
know
job.
they
He
smoke.
found a plug.
Yeah, I
New
know
Jersey,
they
the
smoke.
police officers get to off duty. The police officers get to consume cannabis, and
I saw that.
Some fucking job's gonna fucking say that you can get out of
Right.
here.
Right. I saw
Ridiculous.
that too. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
there's
crazy
some-
that they're testing me for the. It must be insurance. I'm not super
even
sure.
insurance is insane.
Security clearance, maybe, because some of the clients are like nuclear power plants, etc. I'm guessing. We'll
Oh,
see.
yeah, we wouldn't want somebody calm in there.
What
No.
are they afraid
Right.
that the Russians are going to bribe me with a bag of the fucking bank and I'm going to tell all the secrets on what their copy machines are that they run at this fucking outfit? Get the
I
fuck
wouldn't
out of here.
describe myself as calm necessarily.
How about on cannabis?
Calmer.
Okay, that's my point.
Hopefully, if one of these descheduling bills moves through and it gets descheduled, they will reconsider cannabis on these drug testing and consider it more.
Well, Colorado just made it a law,
Yes.
so that they can't do it unless it's
Good.
important.
I think New York as well. I think said that
Yeah.
you can't.
Oh, I didn't see New York. Okay.
So, like, if you're a truck driver, a school bus driver, something like that, you're going to get drug tested. Or if you drive a forklift for a job. But, like, if you're working at McDonald's or something, they can't test you in Colorado.
And fuck you anyway, testing me over a chicken McNugget. Come on, man.
Making an example, but, like, there's a lot of irrelevant jobs that do tests,
Mhm.
and they can't do that there anymore.
I have been to a couple job interviews, and the question has brought up, like, are you going to be able to pass a drug test? I'm like,
What are you
"We'll
looking
see."
for?
We'll see.
Depends on what you're looking for.
You're paying for it, right? You're paying for it, right?
What do you mean by pass?
Yeah.
Is higher a better score?
Is it 80% okay?
1
Man,
channel out of 5.
I'd love to see yours. Like if there was a rating like from 0 to 100, he'd be at like 150 probably.
If it was
No.
today.
Oh yeah, RSO you take? Crazy.
I haven't had RSO in a long time because I've had so many edibles and stuff.
By a long time, he means Friday night.
Is this micro facility your male member by any chance?
You're doing my micro facility. Yeah, it depends on exactly what micro facility means, but yeah, you can go ahead and DM me.
I think we saw that in Minx.
You can send us your
They were talking
Bum,
macro.
bum, bum.
You guys were talking macro, not micro.
Got your jokes.
I was talking about Nicholas.
Oh,
He's sending them
He's going to send us pictures of his micro.
of his
facility.
micro facility.
okay.
Is that what they call it these days?
Undersell and over deliver, they say.
I don't know.
I thought it was sell the sizzle, not the steak.
You too, Sequence.
sizzle
You're
on
getting it too. You talked your way into some micro facility pictures, bro.
You just got put on the list, pal.
I won't be able to share them or show them or anything. My phone is in a different room charging up. So after the show, I'll look at your micro facility pictures. If I'm disappointed, I'll let you know.
I have a little micro facility going on in my flower room right now. Maybe I'll do a little tour on the second half of the show.
No, that sounds good.
That would be
Oh,
Beginnings
wow.
of flower, and hopefully I can do a full tour all the way through flower for once, because it's so far so good with the whole Athena system right now. I think I've got that dialed in. Hopefully, it's just we figured out it's just the 3-gallon pots are not enough for a non-automated watering system with cocoa and salts. It's just drying back too much and holding on to those salts too much, and that was causing the issue before with the burn up. So I thought it was just the jacks mixing it wrong at first, and it's not. It's just the pot size, and it's drying too much in my system because I'm a hand waterer. And
do you have trays underneath?
Plants.
And I like
giant plants,
and I cannot.
Yeah.
Can you could you overwater a little bit in between, or could you water twice by hand a day? Maybe
I tried that a couple times, but then I would just go to bed and forget sometimes, and I didn't want to water when the lights were off and cause humidity spikes and that kind of thing. So
yeah, you need automation. Like she said, you actually need automation. That would be the best way.
Yeah,
because there's no way you're gonna fucking do that all the time.
She's watered and then went back like 3-4 hours later and they're dry. So
yeah,
these are they're. It just doesn't work for my system without automated. And I'm going back to. I mean, my veg plants. I already switched everything over there back to soil and bloom. I'm just rotating through the rest of the Athena and the rest of the cocoa that I've got right now, and I'm going back, baby.
Back.
Well, as far as like automating your watering, just to kick a price down the road, I would say that you could do it for $100 for just not you specifically, Painted Lady, but just anybody in general. For $100, you could turn around and you could get a small 1/4 or 1/5 horsepower, utility pump that doesn't have the actual float in it. So just plug it in, put it on a timer, whatever you're going to do. And buy yourself some kind of res. I would say don't just buy a cheap tote. We talked about that a couple of episodes ago. Is you don't want to have something that's just going to give out on you and break in the middle of the night, especially if you're dealing with something that's like water. So
I've had real good luck with those Sterilite totes. I think the ones with the yellow lids that everybody likes to use.
I had the brute totes, yeah.
They're a good temporary solution, man. They'll work for temporary.
That's been our theory. Is that we're just going to go to bigger pots just for more water, even if they don't root into it because they're in flower. It's just more water,
Just something to hold.
It definitely works.
Yeah, I have an extra bag of cocoa, and I might just end up doing that instead, and then
use up some more of those nutrients before you switch over. It'll give you a way to use up some of those nutrients that you got left over.
Yeah, because that Athena was not cheap. Let me tell you that much.
Nope.
Tain't cheap.
Tain't cheap.
Yeah, and Pat G, I love Bloom Yellow bottles. I can't say enough good things about them. I know I'm like one of the only people that uses them, but I and I didn't say that to be rude. I just mean like, I just know
for sure.
I know a lot of people don't like to pay for, they can be expensive because they have a lot of different bottles, but you don't have to use every single bottle that they have. It's kind of like Advanced has all those bottles and Nectar has all those bottles. You don't have to use them all. You can get away with like the bases and a couple, Cal and some additives. And I have a big thing of Power Psi that I use. And so I can get away with using just very few of them. And the shipping isn't that much for me because, I know people don't like to pay for shipping water, which is what most bottled nutrients are. And I get it. But, thankfully, I'm part of the Bloom crew, so it's not that much, and I love them. I can't say enough nice things about them. I never had a problem. I've never had issues with pH out of whack and everything going crazy. I check it even though they're organic, and I use soil just because I don't know, neurotic, I guess, but I love it, so I'm going back.
It's the important thing is like set up your grow to what you like to do, or your lifestyle. It's got to work with your lifestyle. If you can't hand water 6 times a day, then don't set up a grow where you got to hand water 6 times a day. You got to sort it all out and do what works the best for your life and your job and your situation.
We are all still doing that 10 years into this fucking game. Yeah. We're still all adjusting and trying to figure out a better way to do what we're already trying to do.
I think that's fun though. I always have like I've settled into like I'm really fond of the way I organically grow at home. But at home, I also usually have 1 or 2 in cocoa or maybe a DWC one. I'm always trying new shit just because I like to fuck around and do that.
Consider growing a hobby. Like, what do you do in most hobbies? You fuck around and you like try to learn some stuff and do different stuff, and that's what we're trying to do.
The hobby itself is the reward a lot of times.
Yeah.
Nicholas, I love the Athena. great. I mean, the plants look fantastic. They grew. I mean, you'll see them in the second half of the show if you stay tuned. I'll do a little tour. They're huge and they're beautiful plants. It's just for my hand watering system in 3-gallon pots with cocoa, which is what I wanted to run because that's what I was going to run in my commercial facility. I had to get used to that growing style and see what worked. And where for hand watering, it didn't work. It needs to be automated with a salts type system and cocoa, I think, in that gallon pot.
Yeah, the only other move would have been like a week less or 2 weeks less veg time, but twice as many plants. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But the same size pots.
Yeah.
Fill in that space.
For the size plants I grow, yeah, it just didn't work. But Athena's great. I have no problems with Athena. Thought it was great. I have not smoked. Well, yeah, I guess I haven't smoked any of the product from it yet.
Has Tara? She's been
It's all
smoking.
white
some
ashes though. Tara's been sharing pictures.
Yeah, she's been saying it's been really good.
Yep. So, yeah, we'll see what the flavor is because I know that Bake Talk last night a little bit about, or was that pre-show?
Probably pre-show stuff.
Oh, my bad. Anyway, that that maybe the flavor is a little lacking if you really push the cleanse because I guess they have a cleanse product that's added. I don't use the cleanse. I use just the core grow and bloom. And I don't use the cleanse because apparently that kind of kills out all of your microbes and everything and cleanses the lines and cleanses your root system and everything. But I don't use that. But apparently it kind of flushes the taste out too, from what I hear. So I don't know. We'll find out as soon as we can smoke again. And we try. I got some apple fritter and some Lime River Rose to check out.
Hell yeah,
Maybe
man.
someday we'll get
that Lime River Rose. I smelled that at the Hareem event. Tara passed me a jar, and that smelled so limey, like sweet lime. It smelled really good.
Yeah,
I still want to try the other, man. Fucking, what'd you call it?
Limelight?
No. What's the one that's the Mac and the lime?
That is Limelights.
That's the Limelight. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Limelight. So it's I had that at Hareem. I shared that one. I had a few nugs of it, so I put that in a cone. But I'm growing. I've got another seed of it going right now in veg. It's about say yay tall, and it's the F1s. So what Brandon's selling now are the F2s. So this is the first cross of. So it would have been his Limerilla, which is a GG4 times Black Lime Reserve, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the other side of it?
I have all these seeds too, and I can't remember.
Well, I still haven't tried apple fritter as a smoke yet, and it's
it's a
that one. I'm still puzzled on why they call it apple fritter.
Same.
That's
I
why I
don't
wanted to try
like apples at all.
It's another one of those high dollar clones like GMO was and Mac and all of that sort of stuff. So
I was wondering if it wasn't for like processing or something is why that one became like huge.
Thank you, Common Stealth Grower. Mac V2 is the other side of that cross that I couldn't think of like a dumbass.
That's what it was, yeah.
I'll tell you what, apple fritter it weighed like a beast. I mean, I'm just starting to trim it up and barely touching it. And I think I've already got like 3.5 or 4 ounces, and I've hardly touched it. I have 2 bins of it to get through. So I don't know. It's a nice plant. It's beautiful and it finished really nice. And the colors were great. Had a great fade, but I don't get the flavor profile either, Spartan. I don't know. I have a terrible nose though. So,
but that's what I hate when they make that. To me, that's a bold fucking claim. That's something we haven't had before. That's a bold fucking claim. Right. It better be something similar to that. I didn't get that at all.
Or like strains like biscotti or like okay, does this taste like a biscotti cookie? I don't know. I'm
smoking some fucking blueberry shortcake right now from a friend of mine, and it's fucking very much like a blueberry shortcake. So that's money on the nose, So
yeah.
I think that's kind of an easier one to hit since blueberry is a known flavor, and then like you can just cross that with like ice cream cake or like different creamy flavors.
I got into the what the fuck was it? Was it Blue Sunrise, the Ethos one that I had from you? Blueberry Sunset. That's what it was.
Yep.
I was just smoking some of that this morning, man.
Not sunrise, sunset, brother.
Sunset, yeah, because it was the Mandarin, right? Yeah, it's a Mandarin
Mandarin
crossed with
Sunset.
a blueberry Bubba Kush was the other side of it.
Speaking of ethos, my next multi-pass drop should be in my mailbox any day now. I keep looking with bated
Are you-
breath.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Is when that comes in the mail, do you have like, ooh, I wonder if they're going to work with this, or I hope I get this flavor, or I'm kind of hoping for these kind of seeds more, you know, like
She already knows what she's going to get as far as the list goes.
Yeah, they
Okay.
already put it out. Yeah.
well,
and,
shit, la ti da, you're just waiting to bust into that box then. And with
Yeah.
that, it's hash time.
Like
my friends.
150 seeds are better for her tier of the multi-pass. She's going to get like 150 seeds in this drop.
Yeah, she's definitely
You say
more than made up.
150?
Or no, I
Goddamn.
think it's
Yeah,
actually 180 seeds, to be honest.
And the first drop that she ever got, she already made her money back on what she invested in.
Oh,
the damn
yeah,
thing.
dude.
So it was-
Sequence made his money back and still sold it for a humongous fucking gain. Jesus.
Yeah, I made my money back a lot of times by selling the seeds to various people and then sold the pass for a lot of money. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Dude.
gave a bunch of them to Rasta Bob to take down to Jamaica and run down there just for S's and G's, and hopefully he'll spread the love down there in Jamaica. And yeah, I don't know,
So-
but
So this would be the fourth one or the third one? Fourth one, I think.
I think it's 2 drops per year, so it's probably the
Third?
third one, maybe.
Okay.
This might be 3 or 4, I think.
Because I remember there was the one that had the pins in it. Remember, it came with all the different pins.
This may be the
They-
4th because they had a
Yeah.
makeup drop at one point because something didn't get included with one of the other packages or something, I believe.
Grandpa's stash, something happened with the grandpa stash one time, but yeah, I've got, actually that's in veg right now. Colin sent that to me before, but yeah, I'm stoked. I'm tier 1, so I get like a shitload, and yeah, I love his genetics. I know everybody has a problem with him or whatever, but the genetics are great, and I can't say enough nice things about Ethos too.
So
She's
what
one
you
of the
getting?
first 30 multi-pass members that were ever sold, which is
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
For your list, so they did more autos again this year, so you've got some of those to fuck around with. You gonna throw those outside, or
Man, I've already got veg plants that are waiting to go outside because they're
you
going to
don't
be
have a
too small.
5-footer already out there, do you? It's already 5 feet. You're gonna have to pull this bitch all the way down and stake it out. You know what I mean?
Yep, I mean, they're already, they're
Fucking
they're
10 by
already
10
getting
plant.
too
You know what I mean? When
big.
you scrog it out.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe, but Sequence has some people that have been looking for autos, and I'm just not really an auto. I've just never actually grown one, and I don't know. I mean, maybe I will someday, but it's not something that I'm super.
I was going through my seeds just yesterday because I was getting the itch. We were talking about it. And so I went through it. I said, how many fucking different autos do I have? So I found, shout out to Morningstar Seed Company and RIP. I found some of those baby Hueys. So those BH12s, I got some of those. And I still have the auto race from last year. So I have the the Trizzlers cross, and there's one that's called Nose Candy, which is a glue sniffer cross, and I can't remember what the third one was. So I was talking about doing those ones outdoors this year.
Mm-hmm.
Those candy ones I bet would be good. I haven't heard about anybody running those outdoors, but no, the glue sniffer has always been really good outside.
Yep.
I always like the structure of glue sniffer.
As big as Painted Lady likes her plants, I don't think she's an auto flower grower personally.
She'd be like, "Come on, what is this shit?
Yeah. What is this 4-foot plant?
Wait,
Well, maybe
she's
in a
more about
pot
the
in the back
bliss.
porch.
What's the
Just
name
a
of that
little
show?
pot in the back porch. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm not opposed to growing one. I just have never tried it, and I don't know. I would love to try one. I probably will someday. I just haven't gotten around to it. There's so many seeds and so little
Right.
So
time
many
and so little
seeds.
room.
The
Yeah.
pots on her porch are like 6 foot tall.
Right.
Rather than big girls.
That's my own fault. I mean, because I don't know. My environment in my bedroom is they really like it in there, and so by the time I flip everything and have the room, because I'm not running perpetual anymore. I'm not splitting the room into 2 different harvests. I'm only doing 1 run at a time now,
Right.
and then
It sounds
cleaning
like you need a
everything.
second room. Like if you had a room B, a flower room B, then you would have like normal sized plants, but you're getting stuck in that rotation of having to wait for the room to clear, which means you're getting an
Exactly.
extra, 4 to 6 weeks on there.
Yeah, that's what's happening, and I mean, shit, man, with the market crash, my customers are going to,
Mhm.
I mean, my patients are going to the dispensaries because it's
Yep.
on the corner and it's convenient and they're fucking cheap right now. And so I just don't even need to run 2
Right.
rooms anymore, to be honest. So I'm probably going to take one down, and only one room at a time.
Sounds like you're going to get a nice drawing room out of that, though. So be able to convert the space.
We're converting it probably into a space for his daughters, most likely.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So, and the podcast zone, maybe. So, no, I don't
That'd be
really need
cool.
I probably just, yeah, do it. Maybe bring over his tent and do a drying room. So I have like an
Right.
official drying space instead
Right.
of just,
I would like to do that for sure.
yeah. But, yeah, I don't need both big rooms anymore. I finally did measure that one, and it's 16 by 11, if I remember
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. So 16 by 11 or 12. So I don't really need it. I mean, you'll see it in a minute. Maybe I'll go do that now. Should I do it now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you in a few.
We
See you
talked
in a
about
few.
your plants for a while. People would love to see them. There's some big girls. She did a bunch of work down there today while I was sleeping, so you guys will like that.
Perfect. That's a good deal right there.
I was sleeping away with my dog in the bed, and she was down pulling.
Were you
leaves.
sleeping in the dog bed like Red?
No, I was not. I was sleeping in the guest bedroom. You got to do what you got to do. Red, we got to get you a couch, brother.
There's just nowhere to put one for the moment. We plan on putting one in our basement area, but it's just storage right now. These rooms are like empty grow rooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Working on just like moving shit out of them, and so it's just house under.
I think we're gonna end up turning one of these into the podcast studio area, and then
That'd be nice.
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's what one of these
podcast
bedrooms
room?
will be
I'm
eventually.
so excited tomorrow. I think tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow for sure. I'm cutting that Donnie. That'll be day 73.
Hell yeah.
Day 73 on the Donnie Burger, and it is stinking up the fucking place. So
Hell yeah.
Cheers, Captain. Happy bicycle day, brother.
and then I
Happy
have
bicycle day,
Yes.
chat, everybody.
New York Sour Diesel. I think it's gonna go for another 4 or 5 more days or so. I might even hit 80. I don't know on that fucking.
I say sour diesel should be some like 77-ish days. Pretty
All right,
pretty
cool.
good there. So yeah,
Might get it
sounds
right
accurate. But it'll be worth it, dude. That was my first favorite strain ever. It was actually my first favorite strain to ever dab was sour diesel. I dabbed it and I was like, holy shit, that's so good.
This is the New York Diesel from Weasel. So that's the one that this is apparently the one it's supposed to be. So we'll see. And then right behind that, which seems to be faster finisher, I think it's in the 40s right now in days, but it looks like it could be ready in a week or so itself, is that Banana Daddy. And that smells so fucking like strange. Like it doesn't even smell good to me until I get right up on it, and then it smells like bananas. But from a little bit of a way, it's like a foul smell, not great. But it's frosty. It looks beautiful. So I'm excited for that one too.
What are you going to do outdoors this year?
I don't know. I don't think it's just autos. I can't. I might do. I don't know. I might do. If I do anything, I might try to do Bliss outdoor, because Baked did one outdoor last year, and it did pretty good. So I might do that. But I don't know if I want to screw around with photo period outside. I don't have a big enough space. I did it last year by accident, but I don't know if I can keep getting away with that. Especially
around the weather.
Yeah, the Sparkle Face, it didn't have a real strong like cannabis smell. It was like more closer to, I don't know, like beta caryophyllene, like that peppery smell. So it wasn't as, so maybe that's why I got away with it. But
Sparkle Face.
Yeah, I still have a little bit of that left. Mom's coming over tomorrow because she's supposed to be bringing me the tool for what's the new piping called? PEX. The PEX piping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some lines that are old as fuck. They're like cast iron going to copper. So I'm gonna just replace it all with. I'm like, if I'm gonna replace it, I'm gonna replace it with all new fucking PEX. So she's bringing me the tool down from her house, and she's gonna help me out. She's got some extra PEX already too. So is
she bringing some food for you? Some baked goods?
I'll take her out to dinner, man. But she's gonna help me like that. So hopefully she'll want to go out. I don't want her to have to fucking cook dinner too.
What a gentleman. Yeah,
she raised me right.
That's right. She's a nice lady. I liked your mom a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah. She was hooking him up with all his favorite shit when we were up there. Yeah, my mom is not like that. I believe she kicked me out. We're bypassing technical difficulties to try to get
trying to get it to work right here. Just builds the anticipation more. That's all.
See, she's got her glasses on, so it must have got serious.
The working mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since it is Bicycle Day, I would say that anyone that is celebrating today, please do so responsibly. We talk about setting a lot, and
testing
things, and it's a really good opportunity to recharge your batteries.
That's what I was just having to do. My fucking dabber died, so now I have to recharge the batteries.
This would be a good time to shout out Medical Mondays as well, because they had a good show with
They did
Spread the Spores, which is having an event in Detroit. You can check out their Instagram page.
I think that's this weekend, right?
That is this weekend, yeah. Becca and I will be there. Hanging out. We'll be supporting Red Setter Farm, of course, and Polarity Science. I don't have any banners or anything like that yet for Polarity. We have the mat, of course. So we'll have the mat.
We'll have the mat.
We will have the Polarity mat. Well, other than just shouting out the YouTube, I mean, there's really no service that we provide under Polarity Science. So it's I did sign up to be a street team participant with Bunk Police. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I can get adopted as one of their people who go to festivals and have things like their pamphlets and stuff to hand out to people, which I would love to have, because that stuff, they already have the information. And I'd love to support their group, and it'd be an awesome collaboration, I think.
There
we go.
I don't know if I can figure out how to get this fucking thing turned around.
Turn your phone sideways.
No, she's on selfie mode.
She's in selfie mode. Okay.
I'll just do it like this.
Chat's gonna flip out.
That'll work.
Look at the size of the bounty on those.
They're taller than she is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I wonder why those are drying out in 3-gallon pots. I can't.
I know, that's a lot of fucking foliage. You got flipped off.
Anyway, here's the girls. They're doing pretty well, and as you can see,
he's almost as tall as you are.
They're still gonna flower.
Yeah.
Wow. How much
lady, can you tell us which ones
they are
we're
flowering?
looking at?
Oh, they are flowering. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
This one right here is Starstruck from Irie Genetics.
Ooh, I just
pretty nice structure. I really like. As you can see, I've got my yo-yos strung all over the place.
I love it.
All up here. And this is what's keeping everything nice
Wait a
and
minute.
square.
Wait, go back to that. I don't like where you have them hanging off. You've got them hanging off the fucking electrical wire. That's the electrical wire you're
getting flipped off twice now.
Perfect.
What are you doing?
Anyway.
Just grounding the plants.
This one over here is, let me see. Oh wait, no, sorry, my bad. This is Peaches and Lilac from Ethos. This one is Starstruck from Irie Genetics. So this is a really, really Nice structure.
Man, that's a nice canopy. Nice
Looks
and
happy.
flat.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm really happy, really happy with how this one is looking. Can you guys see it okay? I can't tell what you're
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
at.
it looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me see. This one right here is White Wedding
Yes.
from Ethos.
That one arm is going to be huge. That one right there is going to fucking fill in like a beast.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. I grew it once and never kept a clone. So I had one seed left, I think. So I popped that. And I'm hoping for the best. This is another Starstruck by Irie Genetics, but the structure is real different than this one, as you can see. This one's real tall and gangly and kind of crazy looking.
Yeah, Sequence mentioned that you spent some time in here leaf stripping. Where'd you do that at?
You know what? I just spent a whole shitload of time in here leaf stripping. Thank you. You know I don't like ugly, bare-looking plants.
You know what, Painted Lady? I got to say congratulations on how clean this fucking grow is, man.
Oh, it's
looking fucking great.
Oh, thanks. You know, I hate having a whole bunch of shit all over the floor. It's just my thing. I like a clean space. I don't know. I think the plants do too. This one right here is showing a little like calcium and phosphorus situation going on, probably just from the, the situation with pots. But this is
Those are big ladies in a 3-gallon pot, though.
Yeah, this is Jack Tripper from Irie Genetics. So that's Jack the Ripper and God, I can't remember the other cross. Jack the Ripper and Lemon Skunk or something like that.
I would like to try that.
This one is shit. Hold on.
Those beat up leaves down there. Those beat up leaves down there aren't really doing that plant anything. You just get rid of those.
I know. I gotta cut some of this stuff off. The one that's not gonna even make any difference. But this is. I turned all the fans off too, in case you're wondering why there's no air movement.
But it sounds good though.
Those things are so big.
I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be able to hear shit if I had those fans on.
Yeah, no way.
Are any of those clones or are all those from seed?
These are all seed.
Okay,
this
man.
is another peaches and lilac.
Were all these on Athena, or are these different?
I'm sorry?
Did you feed all these ones Athena, or?
Yeah, these are all on Athena.
Okay.
And this is peaches and lilac too. This is a different pheno than this one. I mean, look at that one compared to.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to smell differently.
I don't know. This one is real, this one's real pukey smelling. I mean, I'm not. Woo, man, I don't know. That's not my fave.
I've never smoked anything that tastes pukey or smelled anything like that. So to me, whenever anybody says that, I'm always like, oh wow, that doesn't sound very
or what about fish? You ever the fishy chirps, dude? Dude, the fish chirps are the worst, man. I got that off those F13s, man.
What had fish chirps?
That DJ Short F13, both the phenos had fish chirps. Super sativa stack, dude. It looked like little just bracts. Like they're just like grew foxtails.
Those fucking lights are booming, Painted Lady.
Wild little plant.
Very strange. The last one in the middle here is Biscotti and Arise.
Oh, nice.
From Irie Genetics.
Very interesting.
So
which one are you looking forward to the most?
This one right here, Peaches and Lilac. I really love Peach Crescendo, and I really love Lilac Diesel, and it's a cross between those two from Ethos. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Plus, I love the structure of it, and it just looks like it's going to be amazing. Even though that smells kind of pukey, I'm looking forward to this one and the Starstruck the most. I think this structure of this one is just beautiful.
Yeah,
it's just beautiful plant. I've hardly had to do much super crop.
Oh, she must have hit a button.
She must have.
Hey, Chad, let's give it up for Painted Lady's Garden, man.
Oh, shit. That's garden.
Chad was loving it mostly.
Big ass plants, man.
Yeah.
It was like such a fucking anticlimactic. We were looking at these beautiful plants and then looking at my dumb ass. Like,
You were picking your nose.
Like a cockroach when you pick up a fucking. Like, what the fuck? What the?
They're very happy plants. Aside from the drybacks, they're obviously giving it a little bit of nutrient problems at the bottom. They have all green stems. Like there's no purple stems anywhere. The plants look incredible. Oh, she's back.
Yeah.
She's back.
You're back.
I lost you. Where did I lose you?
I don't
In the
know.
middle of the peach crescendo.
We were talking about peach
Okay.
crescendo.
I'm really
Oh,
looking
peach
forward
crescendo
to
cross.
asked which one I was looking forward to the most. Is that what we
Yeah.
were-
Yep.
This peach crescendo and lilac diesel. I really, really love peach crescendo and lilac diesel. So I'm really looking forward to this one. The structure is beautiful, and then this starstruck is just a really, really beautiful plant. And I've only had to do like a little bit of super cropping on it, if you can see that. Just a little bit here and there. And it is really, really nice looking plant. And I know that my plants are bushy. I know they're a lot bushier than most of you folks, but I love a 70s bush. And I'm not going to deny it. So that's my jam. I love a beautiful, healthy looking plant. And I may not get the yield, and I may battle a little bit more than most would with maybe some fucking microclimates within here. But I've got, as you can see, I've got several fans.
I like how you have them all underneath there, so you're trying to keep that under fucking current, not just focusing on the top of the canopy like a lot of people do. You got it covered, but
so I do what I can and to keep the grow style that I enjoy looking at. I don't want to come in here every day and look at plants that I don't think are beautiful. So I may battle a little bit of more issues or problems than most would, but I do my best to try to keep them at bay, and we'll see what this room looks like in a few weeks, and maybe we'll do another little tour.
well, you're seeing a lot of love in chat right now, and I'm sure there's going to be even more. But what I would say is any one of us that would walk through that white door right there, if that was our room, we'd be happy as fuck, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I love coming down here and seeing them every day and seeing their progress. And, I know they're big, and they're like, I'm battling it. Look at my super cropping. I'm battling it. But I'll get I just take my yo-yos, like Sequence a little while ago. He's like, they're too big for in there. What are you doing in here?
Oh, cat alert.
No, we out of here. But yeah,
From your heart podcast.
I just use my yo-yos.
Yeah, just hook it to the top of the pot and pull that down
what
that
I
way.
do. I just stretch them out, kind of like I do a trellis with yo-yos essentially, and I just stretch them out and I super crop. And so that's what I do. I mean, as you can see, I just battle the taller ones with super cropping and go from there.
Yeah, man.
So, thank you for taking the tour of my garden. I will see you upstairs.
Thanks for letting us look at your bushes.
Thanks. I love that you looked
Your
at my bush.
70s bushes, yeah. Shit, man.
Quite the arborist. Quite the arborist down there.
She's another great female grower that we have on the show, and she understands the limitations of her grow style and, like she said, microclimates, that sort of thing.
You're making
she
it work,
looking at her plants that way.
Yeah.
We do too, really. That's what they're supposed to look like, and it's really fun to help and fun to do that stuff. That's her grow. That's her shit. Whole deal, dude. I don't do much helping. I help water and stuff, but that's her whole deal right there. She gets full credit for that room. And the other room you didn't see, the veg room, is just a jungle as well. Always. You don't get that big of plants without a jungle in there. So.
She's got some nice rooms set up too. She did it right. I mean, she's got some
your veg is a funny space because when you have like just all small plants in your veg room, you're battling trying to keep it warm enough as well as keep it high enough humidity. And then there reaches that tipping point when you have enough vegetation in the room that like now you're hitting all your temps right and you're pushing up into the 70s on your humidity and your plants are just fucking going tropical.
Yeah, it's amazing. She puts a lot of time in down there. Like I said, I took a nap and she pulled leaves and stuff. Like, so, and obviously days I'm not here, she's hand watering a whole bedroom by herself and then a whole flower room by herself.
And going to shows and doing this and doing
the
that
shows
and doing a job. Yeah,
all
man.
that stuff. Yeah.
Full
You
play.
got to be dedicated to do it. She's back. I'll stop saying nice stuff.
Yeah, we'll stop saying nice things now that you're back.
Don't let her hear that shit. Jeez.
Yeah.
Quick, Spartan, say
yeah,
something
right
mean
about
to
her.
her. Quick, get her.
I missed it. What was he saying?
Shout out to Beelzebub. Did you hear he's going to be a Michigan bro soon? At least he's going to live in Michigan.
What?
Oh, nice. Oh, I heard that. I heard that. He's moving up above the bridge, right?
Yeah, he's moving
like
way up there. He said like
Way
the southern
like Keweenaw.
Don't name where he's gonna be, but
yeah, I'm not gonna.
There's only like 12 people that live in the city. You got to be careful up there.
He put it out there. He put it out there on their live. So
Marquette.
Yeah,
Marquette's a big
Marquette,
fucking. If you're gonna be up there, Marquette's like the big place to be.
Yeah.
Hell
I just
yeah,
didn't want.
Bees.
I didn't want you guys to dox where he was going to be at right away.
Yeah, I wasn't sure he was cool with it, so I didn't want to say.
That's about the furthest known point from us.
He threw it out there.
Kind of, man. It's kind of over there a little bit.
I've got ancestors up there. I don't know if I have any living family, but definitely there were ancestors for sure up there.
I have I have family up in that area. My nephew goes to college up there.
We got old growth forests up there, right?
I don't know. I would imagine so. Somewhere.
Red says we've got redwoods here in Michigan. They've got to be above.
We have a trio.
They're down here.
They're down here.
There's this tiny little patch, man. It's been
Huron National Forest.
It's been preserved down here. There's
cool.
Not in the Huron. That's all pine trees. That's farmed. Huron National Forest is all pine. That's federal farmland.
What is the other one?
The
Manistee.
The Manistee. That's a federal farmland as well. There's a little privately preserved like state park that exists somewhere in mid-state. It's like in maybe Grayling area or north mid-state, right?
Grayling. I know.
And they had
we weren't that far from there.
They had some old forest growth there back in the 1800s, 1700s, something like that. Chicago burned down. They logged Michigan for most of the pine.
Michigan caught on fire at the same time as that, right? The Great Michigan fires of the same time.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
so
the whole thumb and shit burned.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering about our peat moss, in these places.
Our sphagnum.
Yeah, dude, it's all
off my sphagnum, man.
I'd be concerned. It has like maybe pesticides and stuff and herbicides from the tree farming and things like that, and a lot of it. At least in those national forests, but like I said, man, there's lots of privatized preserved land.
There's plenty of forest in Michigan to go around,
and there's hundreds of acres. It's not a lot. Hundreds of acres isn't a lot of old growth. It does still exist, but most of Michigan has been farmed or developed or dug up,
right?
Due to
all those logs floated down the river and got built into stuff, and then
down the river and into lakes.
Replanted.
Dude, those rollways, those are really cool stories too, man. How like in the 1800s, man, they were on sleds, dog sleds, hauling pine and oak and stuff, whatever other kind of log.
They float them all down the
hundreds of miles though. They would have to go through the forest of Michigan for hundreds of miles until you got to the river. And then they would all winter long they would stack them up at the
and then they would do the log break and break it loose.
Yep, they would break the rollway. They would break the rollway in incredibly dangerous feat, dude. Logs would go crashing down in the river about this time of year. Right at this time of year is when they'd break the rollways, and those were the logging industry in about the 1800s. And logs would flow down the river and get out to the lakes, and then get to the
That's what Port Huron was based on. That's why it's right here. It's the city that opens at the mouth of Lake Huron, like literally where the fuck you got to go to.
And you would get the AuSable Rivers. You would get the AuSable Rivers dump usually in that respect, or maybe Saginaw would probably get the AuSable Rivers dump, which would be all of that.
All the waste and all
paper
that.
Mills,
super wild.
We still got fucking 3 paper mills in town. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the little bit of forest, man, was left over. There was a decent amount of forest left. Let's say 800, maybe a few thousand acres of forest that was left of old deciduous after all that farming had gone down. storm came through in the 1930s and wiped out like 60% of it. So we only have like 800 acres or some real small number to our 300 acres, some
Well, I
small
want to
number to
see it
work with.
because I'm sure it's going to go down soon with the way the
It's a day trip.
ice shelves collapsing and
It's a day trip for us. If you want to go see some old redwoods and stuff, they're in the southern peninsula. They're
Sounds
down
like
here.
a good
Couple hour
let's
drive.
do it, dude.
Let's go meet in the middle of the woods, guys.
Someday I'll be able to
Like
smoke
old
again, and
times.
we can do that.
Someday.
Yeah, we really should.
Oh,
So-
speaking
Assuming they
of-
haven't been logged out.
Speaking of a Grosky trip, you know what I want to do this year? What am I talking too loud?
No,
Oh,
No.
He's highlighting you.
he was like,
I was
I thought-
pointing at you.
oh, what do you guys think about doing like an mid to late summer trip down to West Virginia to go whitewater rafting?
I want to do it really bad.
West Virginia.
Sounds fun.
Hell yeah! It's like it's
Whoa.
only
What's the weed laws in West
it's a
Virginia?
short drive. You can do it in an extended weekend. Like
Somebody gonna bring the banjo.
What's the weed
No, we're
laws?
just going to take a van and we're going to ignore all of the laws like we normally do, and we're
Yeah,
going to
we're
go
gonna-
whitewater
I'd like to know what the weed
That's
laws
always
are.
been the thing. Is like we
there is
fuck
no
around in
weed law,
Michigan
but
like nobody's
I-
business, but we get nervous about Indiana and shit. Like I don't
Yeah.
really fucking feel
Yeah,
like going
no.
to Indiana.
Dude, I smoked the shit out of West Virginia when I was
Okay.
there on the fucking raft everywhere. I just didn't care.
You didn't
Yeah,
hear
I had no
banjos though,
problem.
right?
Huh?
You did not hear banjos though, and have to paddle faster.
No, man.
No?
It was
Okay.
so much
Nobody
fun.
told you to squeal like a piggy, did they?
Maybe you don't realize this, but maybe you might have some advantages that I don't possess. That some people may treat you differently than me.
That's a good point.
Cops don't treat me well at all, ever in my life, ever.
That's true.
They
Maybe,
still
but
make
I wasn't
they still
driving.
make
I
Spartan
was
squeal like a piggy.
No, I never had any problem there, and we stayed in a little Airbnb, so nobody cared, and we were out on the front porch having a great time when we were whitewater rafting, and it was so
Man.
much fun. I had a blast, so I just thought that would be a really fun Grosky trip.
Did you know that you can get a fucking like rent tree houses and shit for Airbnbs? Really cool.
It'll
Yeah.
probably be a more fun trip if Spartan doesn't come, so that'll be fine.
There you go. There you go. That'll do
That decision makes itself then. right?
it.
Well, Baked would be busy falcon punching everybody probably,
Yeah.
so I don't know. So those two can share a car ride down.
They'll get there in like 4 hours.
In June, Becca and I are gonna hike the Appalachian Trail. We're gonna go down to the Smokies and do a little
How long are you going to do it? for?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a like
We're
a month
going-
long
about
trip.
800 feet
We're
as
going
far as
to
we're
a
gonna camp.
homestead festival, and it's in Tennessee, and we're gonna camp before and after
Cool.
in different national state
That
parks.
trail is like a
Awesome.
National
few
parks.
months of walking if you want to do
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. Yeah,
Couple
you got to
days.
start in like February, starting down
Yeah.
in Georgia when the weather's nice, and you finish in like November when the weather starts getting bad. Up in Maine, dude, that thing goes from Georgia up to Maine. Oh, fucking! We're just gonna hit the Smoky Mountain Trail. We're just gonna do a little bit of Smoky
Cool.
Mountain.
Cool.
Yeah, do some camping.
Take a
We
lot
might,
of pictures.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The camera's coming, and
Go to
we're
those
going to do
caves.
what we can.
That's where
Oh,
we're going
yeah.
first.
We're
Those
gonna
are
do
in,
Mammoth
in-
Caves first.
I think
That's
those
a
are in
national
Kentucky,
park.
right?
I wanna go
That's in
there so
Kentucky.
bad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're
So
doing
we're gonna go
caves
there
first.
and then Tennessee and then
Yeah, I went
Smoky
there as a kid,
Mountains.
man.
Oh yeah.
The events in Tennessee. We're gonna spend a couple days there. Probably hit Nashville. There's a couple of random bands like Kevin Costner's band that I don't
Becca?
think we're gonna. I don't think we're gonna hang out
Becca,
and watch.
do
I
not
think
let
we're gonna go
Red
to
buy
If
Nashville.
you don't even know the
fucking-
name of the band, Red, you don't want to watch
Wait a
it.
minute.
We're
Becca,
just
don't
gonna go
let
to
Red buy
Nashville.
like a mother of pearl kind of button shirt, like the Western fucking check shirt.
Yikes,
shit.
dude.
No, I want to see that. And
Skillbo, I have like 2 of those. Levi has those in their collection, dude. I wear those all the time.
Oh
But
shit! It's
What's
too
that?
late,
I'm
man.
wearing.
That's right.
I'm literally wearing my denim one in the intro to the Bro Show live.
All right. Does it have mother of pearl on it?
It has pearl buttons.
Your Canadian tuxedo.
Red's got a pearl necklace.
The
It has,
denim
it
tuxedo.
has pearl buttons in the whole 9. It's got the little.
Whitewater rafting sounds
That
kind of
does sound-
scary.
It's
But
so much
cool.
fun, Becca.
That's
It's
cool.
so much
It is.
fun.
It's
Okay.
faster in the
Sounds scary.
springtime during the
There-
melt is when it's more dangerous. The
I
summertime.
don't
is
have
when
a
it's
problem
more
with
Kinda
whitewater
scary.
rafting. I
There's
just
two
there's so many states that have legal weed, and why support the ones that don't?
because it's beautiful there. It's
Beautiful.
absolutely
Beautiful.
beautiful.
I don't doubt
and
it,
the
but I
people
mean,
were
come
so
on.
fun. And our tour guide was super cool. He was a glass blower. And
That's
so
cool.
he didn't give a shit if we were smoking. He was smoking too. So when there's two different levels, you can go on the upper rapids, which are faster and crazier, or the lower ones for like the beginners. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there were some moments where we were like, we're going where down there? But we made it through and it was fun. Nobody fell out of the boat. And yeah, it was great. And
That's
we
what I'm
laughed
scared of.
and laughed, and I laughed so hard on that trip. It was so much fun.
If nobody fell out, we got to level it up. We got to go to like some extreme shit.
Kick it up a notch.
You don't want to fall out.
Yes, somebody's got to fall out.
No.
You're not even trying.
No.
I do not want to get impaled.
Yeah, you don't want to fall out. But yeah.
We got a bunch of sissies in the panel, I see.
I don't. Yeah, dude.
Hey man, I haven't done
I'm
it.
sure
in
I'll
ride the
years,
raft.
but, I fucking whitewater rafted through Austria, so I'm with you, man.
Awesome.
Bees-
That would be fun.
Beelzebub
down
asked what
fucking
class
blast.
of rapids
Sounds like
it would
fun.
be. I said whitewater ones.
Whitewater
Just
one.
keep me in the raft.
It was fun. Anyway, it's my suggestion for a really cool instead of the float down the Ann Arbor River or whatever. I think this would be a blast, and it really doesn't take long to get there. And I get what you're saying, Spartan, but if you're
Pennsylvania's an
careful
8-hour.
about
Oh,
it.
you said West Virginia, not Pennsylvania. So, I mean,
Yeah,
they're
West
probably talking
Virginia.
8 hour
West
drive.
Virginia.
Yeah. Still
I
probably
didn't
8 or
fact check
10 hour
it, but
drive.
Nick in chat said West Virginia is legal now. I'll have to look.
I like going to red states sometimes. Meet up with people, man. Get a better
Hey.
value.
I'm
Kinder
going to
Grove
Georgia.
says Virginia went legal and they have whitewater rafting. So maybe West Virginia is there as well. We'll have to look into it.
it was
It'd be really
beautiful.
fun. It'd be
I-
cool.
I had no idea how beautiful. I mean, I've been through West Virginia on my way down to like South Carolina and Florida and stuff, but I've never actually like been in it and looked at how beautiful it was, like on the rapids and stuff. It's beautiful there. So just a thought.
I'll bring a GoPro and somebody better fall out of the damn boat.
Nah. I mean, it all sounds
I mean,
like a
you're
lot
the
of
last
fun,
one
to
that
be
fell out
honest.
of the boat, right?
Exactly. I'll fall out of the boat. Let's go.
Sounds like fun. It was
I would
fun.
not recommend taking.
Are you going to ride the unicorn while we
Let's go swim in
use
the
the
river.
rafts? You're just
Yeah,
going
I'll
to
bring
be
the
that hero.
unicorn as well. Let's do that.
Just mid.
There's probably
midstream.
camping too. Camping around there would be fun.
Sure.
Yeah,
Probably.
totally fun. Yeah, I always like to see the people's face in red states when you like let them smoke some really good weed or let them see it, smell it.
You want to see it, man?
I'll see some.
People from Indiana, they're like, oh,
Oh, what is that? What is this?
I've never seen that
What is
before.
this grateful gift?
We went a few years ago over Labor Day weekend, and I don't know, the camping thing, I was very happy to finally be done and get into my warm, dry clothes and sit on the porch of my nice little tiny Airbnb. But, you know,
Yeah, that sounds nice too. It's just a bit more expensive.
first, well, not when you split it. I mean, I think I paid like $100 for the whole weekend for that place. So
That's all. That's
yeah,
not
we only
bad.
had 4 people, so it's super cheap, and was fun.
I could get behind that kind of pricing.
hell yeah.
Well, getting there is another option. We'd have to teleport, or else we'd pay about $600 in travel fees. Truck gets about 18 miles per
You
gallon.
just get one van and drive down in a van, and we're good to go.
Hey, by the way, and the gas is like 30 cents cheaper than the rest of the gas stations. Don't buy it. You get worse fuel economy.
No shit.
Yeah, way worse fuel economy.
Why? That doesn't
Winter
make
gas
sense.
also gives you worse fuel
It's
economy.
it's
Summer,
not.
you'll
It's,
get better
it's
gas
gasoline with additives. It's not all
Ethanol.
gasoline. It's cheaper
Ethanol.
because there's additives. You just
Yep.
get way worse fuel
The
economy.
more ethanol there is, the lower the burn point is on the fuel, and it is not.
Oh,
good
it
for the gas
sucks. I mean, it's been same grade, right? 87 is 87 is 87. No,
Nope.
87 octane at another pump is like fucking 40 octane, dude. I'm feeling it. Really
Well, the
heavy on
octane
the
level
engine.
may be the same, but the amount of energy in the fuel is
That's
different.
what. I mean, it's like the number's the same, right? It's, yeah, like the efficacy is different.
The octane is important for the timing and detonation in your engine. So the octane would be the same. It would be still 87, 89, whatever, but there's less energy in it. Winter fuel is also a different blend, so you get worse mileage.
I've never heard that term before.
Yeah, I'm like
Which one?
I'm seeing like three
Octane?
different gas
winter
stations.
fuel.
There's winter fuel.
There's like
can
three
look
different
I'm over
gas
here
stations
driving my car
competing.
around with my leaded gasoline still.
Yeah.
Daddy Red says WV is a medical cannabis state. Rec illegal.
Do they reciprocate? So, like, if we bring down our cards, are we good to go? I wonder if that's the case.
The wreck is legal. I got a buddy who has talked to some people of professional sources who kind of keep him to just say, keep some whatever their medical laws in the back of your mind, like the numbers and some of the things that you can kind of reference. That way, if you do get in some altercations with someone with authority, you're able to like reference those, and a lot of times they'll leave you alone if you do have a card. Not saying that it will keep you out of trouble every time, but a lot of times if you do reference whatever their statute of medical, cannabis law is, and show them your out of state card, maybe
it makes you appear less nefarious. Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. You can at least pretend that you don't know the rules and be like, listen, I got this thing that I thought worked here or whatever.
Just remember that ignorance of the law is, in fact, not a defense.
It's not a defense, but it does work sometimes because police officers are still human beings with brains and hearts. And
I've heard that.
I've encountered
that, but I don't know.
Story of a buddy.
I'm a fair-skinned white feller. I get off on all sorts of crimes.
I mean, my buddy Spartan was just telling you about how much he's fucked the police on it. Like they give him a hard time.
He's a hardened criminal. Yeah, he's a hardened criminal.
A hardened criminal.
He's got a Spartan hat on.
A hoodie and a hoodie.
One of the nicest guys we fucking know.
Over just for the hat.
Damn. Just, he's getting the bake treatment tonight. Usually we're piling on baked like this.
You got the silent treatment.
I don't have anything positive to say.
Fair enough.
I'll just say I never even thought about it. I just fucking took my weed and smoked it and didn't give a shit. And I didn't have, none of us had a problem. I mean, yes, there were 3 ladies and 1 guy who looked pretty vanilla. And in fact, that's what we nicknamed him, French Vanilla. But he never had a problem. And we all had a good old time.
I wonder why he never had a problem. Crazy.
Well, I can't help what he looks like.
Misdemeanor.
Depending on what you're doing. If you're doing some minor, like it's a misdemeanor, like Astro's saying in West Virginia, if you're respectful towards police officers, generally that gets you a long way. Not all the time, but generally gets you a long way.
Today, I'd hope a lot of them would just fucking take it and just go.
Do not try to run down the Appalachian fucking trails to get away from the police, and you're fleeing and eluding from the law over your fucking half-smoked joint.
Yeah, to be honest, man, I question whether or not we would even like light one up anywhere within 100 yards off the trail. You know what I mean? Like rangers,
shove it up your ass like a
rangers, all kinds. Yeah, exactly. Especially down there.
Put it out first.
Tennessee. Why would you want to give even 1 cent or $1 to a place that is anti-cannabis? Why?
It's federal. It's a national park, and I want to see them all, visit them all.
Okay, well I can understand that.
Yeah,
there's a big world out there to explore, and unfortunately, like a lot of it is hectic to get to, and like really expensive to travel most places, or incredibly restrictive. No, I like going around Michigan.
There's a lot to see in Michigan that I haven't seen yet, so I do intend on doing a lot of that.
Well, I don't see any whitewater rafting spots.
And Michigan doesn't have this.
True.
Michigan doesn't have this homesteading festival happening, so we have to go out of state to attend it to see some of these high-profile speakers.
I hope you guys have a good time. I want to see the Mammoth Caves. Really
fuck yeah. We're gonna thanks, man.
Awesome.
We're gonna see Joe Salatin speak, dude. I'm super excited to listen to that.
Red, have you thought about what you're going to yell in the caves yet? Yeah, man.
I don't have much to say in the caves. I probably do a lot more. Just
Somebody clip that.
No, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna
internal-
go red leather, yellow leather.
Did you guys all hear Red say, "I don't have much to say"?
Yeah, man.
That is
Market
crazy.
it's 12:43.
Yeah, man.
I
I'll
heard
film it.
that we got Mike Tyson in the chat real quick. I heard that they outlawed his ear gummies.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they banned his ear gummies already.
They
That's
did?
so
Oh,
stupid.
not banned, on hold.
On hold.
Come on, that was the best idea ever.
It was very clever.
What is it?
He's got well, you may not know the story. He got
It was actually Evander Holyfield's ears, not Tyson's ears.
No, I know.
he bit it off.
Who was Evander? Who was
Vander
His
Holyfield's
company.
ear.
So
He's
his
probably trying to get
gummies
paid for it.
are
Gummies and
ear-shaped?
Yeah.
paper ears.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
what's going on. Holyfield's like, that's
Vanilla
my
ear.
ear.
That's appealing.
That's
to
my money.
children.
That's my ear. That's my money.
I don't know if kids want to eat ears or not. So
Mike
I think
Tyson
they-
also partnered
I
with
mean, it's
Common
called a
Citizen.
chicharron, right?
yeah,
Common
he did
Citizen
partner with
here in
Common
Michigan.
Citizen, so I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, dude, that bums me out about the Futurolas that I have stocked up. I got all these Futurolas to share at events and stuff. We went and partnered with Common.
Well, Futurola is their own company. Are they partnered with Common Citizen? I think they're
No,
probably partnered with
Futurola's partnered with Tyson.
everything. I would imagine they're
Tyson's.
partnered with everything. They're at Anaconda.
Tyson's like Futurola's like Tyson's company or something like that.
No,
That's what I
they existed long before Tyson was doing weed.
did. They then I feel a lot damn better about that. Then maybe he was just.
I'm sure they're affiliated now, but
maybe he was just promoting them.
yeah, exactly.
It's like his style, but not the kinds that we have.
Maybe it's the blunt. Well, whatever blunt. Oh, okay. So maybe
They're the
not.
company
Okay,
that
okay,
makes all the
okay.
big rolling
All right,
machines and all
specifically
that stuff.
Futurola blunt. So if there's Futurola papers, this would be specifically the Futurola blunt is
Oh, I have
branded
no
by
interest in any
Tyson
blunt.
or whatever. The Futurola blunt has a botanical. It's non-nicotine, non-tobacco, non-hemp either, but it has a botanical background. The flower is on it, but it's what is it? It's marketed, branded as like his toad, his like reference to the toad. So I don't know, maybe
Buffalo.
it's some DMT reference, buffalo toad reference that that he's trying to get out there with his blunt for some reason. So I don't know if there's like maybe trace amounts of DMT in the blunt or something that he's trying to say. I don't know. I don't think so.
No, I doubt it. He's just
Yeah.
marketing a thing, I'm sure.
It feels, you smoke it, the synergistic effects, are nice and light. Kind of nice. It has a nice chocolatey herbal flavor to it. It's actually really good. I really enjoyed them, but they are a little bit
better
heavy on the
with
lungs.
Specific strains.
Yeah, definitely better with more like, like the musky, fruity stuff like that.
Gassy.
Yeah.
So Rainbow's good in it, Rainbow Driver and like GDP
Stuff that holds
that we have.
has a lot of sesquiterpenes, so holds the flavor well.
Why not just use papers so you don't ruin the flavor of your stuff that you spent a lot of time growing?
That definitely has a different, just to have a different flavor, have that different effect. It's almost like I said, like a different synergistic effect with it too.
It's like a specialty thing. It's not every day.
Yeah, we definitely know
That's
it's more.
fair. Most of the blunt rollers I know are smokers. That's all they'll smoke.
That's
Like,
what they're
what are you
for.
bothering growing all these different strains for and stuff when you're just putting them in hemp wraps or blunt wraps and then just smoking them that way?
But that's why we have them. It's not for us to smoke. We don't smoke them. We have
Right,
them for other
fair.
people to smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
We just have them available.
Gotcha. I didn't know Futurola was doing any blunt wraps, so that's interesting to know. They're the company that was making all the, like, if you wanted a $30 or $40,000 rolling machine, you can buy one. And they're at all the CanaCon events and all of that stuff.
Why so much money?
Because it replaces employees. So if you
Okay.
think of the wage cost for an employee for a year versus a machine that breaks down a lot and needs repairs all the time,
Right.
you can equate it that way. Or rationalize it that way, I guess. They're not bump box machines. They roll and then chop them and all sorts of different shit. It's a different style machine than like
So you could do crazy things where you could make like a 2-foot long fucking joint if you really wanted to. With that crazy contraption.
Yeah, I think it's like a measured size, but yeah. They're more like hand rolled joints than they are like a, vibrating.
Philip Morris or something.
I've never smoked it or whatever, but
the blunts are like $4 a tube. Like if you try to find them individually somewhere or something like that, they're usually like individually sold for like somewhere between that $2 to $4 a tube. Bulk, they're like, I don't know, you can get like 10 packs or whatever for like $2 to $3 a tube. Like they're super expensive, just like probably that machine. I'm sure they promote some sort of a luxury line in their branding.
Yeah, I'm sure that just having their name attached to it makes it more expensive.
Yeah.
Like every,
it's ridiculous how expensive those tubes are.
Branding.
Yeah, we're just having them available for like $2 a tube because they're so expensive everywhere.
Those Canacon booths and stuff are cheap. They're paying like multiple thousands, it's several $1,000s to do a show. When they're giving you $2,500 off tickets to vend at the Canacon or display a booth at Canacon, you know that the booths are like $15,000.
Yeah, it's definitely more than 100% of the cost. Daddy Red says West Virginia isn't one of the reciprocal states with MedCard at the present date, and therefore federal laws still apply.
I appreciate the research, Daddy Red.
Yeah, no kidding. Part of me feels like Michigan's one of the only states that reciprocates. I don't think many of them do.
Does, and I want to say California does too.
Yeah, I think I do. I think both of those places do, but there's not a lot of red
sense. Just
what was the first state?
Nevada for sure. I know Nevada does. Yeah.
I'm sure Colorado does.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about Colorado. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Colorado does because
I would hope Colorado does.
I showed my med card when I was there and got something. I don't know, it was a discount or something.
A lot of Michigan is taken from Colorado, so I think that might be true.
And a lot of these newer states coming on board, I'm sure they have medical programs.
Like
especially if they're rec. There's like not much reason for them to not.
Right. Yeah.
But some of them don't. Yep.
Definitely limits their commerce coming through, interstate commerce. Michigan gets a lot of it. We get a lot of tourism from
tax dollars, baby.
Yeah.
Lots of tax dollars.
Lots of billboard sales.
Every township got like,
dude, there's so many fucking billboards now, man. They're everywhere.
South part of the state, for sure. It's ridiculous.
I would like to start a lobby to just get billboards banned in Michigan. I'm so anti-billboard.
They're so gross.
Yeah, if they're gonna have distracted driving laws and still have billboards, that seems counterintuitive.
So billboards are illegal in Hawaii. Billboards are illegal in Alaska. Billboards are illegal in Vermont and Maine. So you can make them illegal.
Nice.
And they're illegal in places that care about the environment, and like tourism and looking at the trees and shit. Why not here?
Yeah,
let's get the ball rolling and get rid of these fucking things.
I'd rather look at farmland.
I'll sign that.
I would too.
Fuck billboards, dude. I'm really adamant about this. They get me all fired up. I hate billboards.
And there's your thing right there. That's your boomer thing.
Dude, I have a lot of things.
Smoke.
I have a lot of things.
I have a lot of things, but billboards are really high on the list, man. They're
especially when you see the old ones that were like made out of wood and they're deteriorating and falling apart, and they just leave them to
flapping
rot
in the wind.
They're a cancer on the landscape of our beautiful state.
A blight, sir. A blight.
That old commercial skill of the Indian with crying, looking down at the.
Yeah,
that's the littering one. Yeah.
Donate your boat. Buy weed from Sky.
Think about how much vinyl. It's not even
gonna
paper.
Donate a boat? Who needs a free boat?
It's like
Mother
I don't
Waddles.
get that.
I don't know either.
Mother Waddles. That's the program in like the greater Detroit area is Mother Waddles. You can donate your car or truck or whatever shit to Mother Waddles.
A car I get, but who needs a boat?
They're just selling it. They're just turning around and selling it and then keeping the money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the Gordon fisherman, obviously. He's down on his luck, man. Times are getting hard. Inflation's kicking him in the ass. He's still got to go out and get his trawl.
Yeah, they don't need a bunch of boats. They're just
don't begrudge the Gordon fisherman.
So
maybe they fix them up or something.
You give away your car, you can write that off for like $500.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck billboards.
I could do without the billboards.
Your PSA,
especially
right?
electronic ones that are like bright as hell.
And the ones that change, they're just
The ones that change are the
Flash all the
super
time.
distracting ones.
I like that. No signs over 8 feet in Hilton Head. That's cool.
That is cool. Listen, we don't need signs to know to like go to McDonald's or whatever the fuck. We're gonna go anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna look up Google
Good
now.
enough commercials. Fuck.
Who
We're
cares?
gonna look at Google and see what's in the
You know,
route.
a billboard is such a fucking 19th century advertising way.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of shit you would paint on old barns and stuff, you know.
They're
Come
gonna
in
put
today for a
pop-up.
gin Ricky.
You're gonna have
you know,
a
like, what the
self-driving
fuck?
car, and then you're gonna have ads on your windshield because you won't need to look out of it anymore.
You're already dealing with your fucking phones. They hit you all the time where you can't get rid of shit on some of your phones, and it's just
That's why I got
constant.
the Pixel, brother. I can
Yeah.
get rid of everything.
Now we're all gonna have ads for billboard ads on our phones. when we get off
Exactly.
Our phones.
Buy billboards for your weed
Buy
business.
billboards. Call here for billboards.
That's the only people we can sell them to.
Pretty much.
It's like 85% of them are all these different weed business, especially down south by the border where I work and drive all the time. So much weed marketing down there.
But the state made a ton of money, and every township got 50 grand plus for every dispensary, every point of sale that they have. And last year it was only like 28 grand. That almost doubled, dude, in a year. Almost 50 grand per point of sale. Ann Arbor's got like 25 points of sale. Do the math.
The town where I
Shit.
work in, they went from 0 to 13 licenses in a year.
Shit, dude.
So they're like, oh, we're getting in now that we
They
know
said
there's
all
money
in.
on here. We're all in. And they
Down
were
here,
staunchly against it until they saw money, and then they're like, oh well, now we allow that to happen.
a lot of out-of-state business down here for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Super wild.
Leave it to me to mention the 19th century. Mail pouch tobacco.
Damn right, Red Man shit.
There's still barn ads all over down by where I'm talking about. We're talking very.
Dude, you're in like
conservative, lots of
deepest,
farmland.
darkest, like southern Michigan though. Like when I went
Yeah.
out there that one time, I was like, where the fuck am I at, bro? Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
We out here.
Indiana creeps up on you down there.
Quick.
Yeah. You hear "Welcome to Indiana" and you're like, "Grr," turn right around.
The backup beeper comes on.
The only time I go down there is to grab ethanol alcohol for my
Alcohol.
friends to make RSO with.
Go down there to get booze. Go down there to go shop.
Oh, me and Bake found the best place. It's called Gaze.
Yep, Gaze is where I buy
Gaze,
it.
dude. The Gaze is where I buy it.
It's
Yep.
fucking great.
Gaze is where I go. Dude, Gaze is like 10 minutes from
very
our
close.
from our house.
They
I
know it.
literally walked in that place, loud as fuck.
15
And I was
minutes.
like,
15 minutes.
loud as fuck. I was like, "You guys got shirts?" And they're like, "No." I said, "You got hats or fucking beer koozies or anything with your name on it?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Why the fuck not? What is wrong with you guys?"
That's some shitty marketing.
Spartan.
Yeah.
Spartan.
Lost
Right,
revenue right
the
there.
road that Gaze is on, right? If there's a crossroad that's perpendicular, there's like a traffic light right next to Gaze. It's a crossroad. That's Fremont Street. If you go down that,
Yeah, Fremont.
you get into Michigan. Like once you hit like a main road, basically, there's a bunch of lakes right there. My family has a house. I've lived out in that area almost my whole life.
Oh,
For like
wow.
20 years we've been out there.
Yeah.
I've been going to Gaze for 20 years, dude. The
Gaze
place
could
is
learn
very
something
well
from
known.
Come and go and get some
Very
shirts
well
and
known.
hats and shit made.
Yep.
Market
That
their
place
business
is
for
that place has
sure.
got some booze in it, man.
It's a big booze shop too.
Yep.
So you make
Oh, super
cannabis
clean.
illegal in your state, and you got to have those giant fucking liquor stores like they got right there.
Used to go in there for cigarettes back in the day, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When I was a kid, my friends' parents would drive from Michigan to Indiana just to buy cigarettes and then go back. And that was like a 2-hour, 3-hour round trip.
Holy shit.
Fireworks?
Go get your cartons down there and then drive back.
Go down there and go get fireworks. There's a giant firework warehouse. I don't know if that still exists,
It's
but there
still
used
there.
to be. Is that still there?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucker is like right beyond the border too. But that's like
Shelton's
right off
Fireworks.
69. Shelton, yep. Big
Yeah.
ass
They
building,
made
dude.
them legal here now, though. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
they made them legal here. So we can light up the big boomas up here in
the
Michigan.
boom is
now.
up here.
The boomers.
They're so
Every
expensive.
Market parking
Good
lot,
Lord.
they pop up.
Shout out to Dyke Dankins.
One of my favorite things to do is light fireworks because I'm such a juvenile child.
You had a
At
good
least you
good
know.
birthday, man.
I
It
do
was just
know,
fun.
trust me. You
Safely?
could give me bottle rockets, which you can get like 1,000 for $1.
I
And
used to
I'm
do
good for the
stupid
whole
shit
day.
with bottle. I used to light bottle rockets out of my hand and shit.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
for sure. I'm the guy like launching them out of my ass and stuff on
Yep.
YouTube. You know,
Wow.
all those terrible videos you
That
see. that's
escalated
me and
quickly
my
from
friends.
holding it in your hand to blowing it out of your ass. Jesus.
Uh,
What
Pretty
is it
Lady's
called?
face was priceless.
What are they?
I just haven't seen that yet, Becca. I don't know if I have to.
Roman candle fights. Those are never ending in good
That's how you
scenarios.
lose an eye.
That's how
Where
you
your,
lose a
Edward
shed.
Evans in your Roman candle fights.
A shed. Kaboom. What a great way to end the show. Always end it with a bang.
Yeah. Happy Earth Day.
A boom boom.
Happy Bicycle Day.
Happy Bicycle Day. Cheers. Come back through Sunday night at 9 p.m. Next time for Bro Show Live. Other than that, have a great night, everybody.
Have a great week, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.